There's a place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the road before us falls under our face. I can't hold on. I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything's wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own when I'm alone. My love is gone. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own when I'm alone. My love is gone. My love is. There's a place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the road before us falls under our face. I can't hold on. I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything's wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own when I'm alone. My love is gone. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own when I'm alone. My love is gone. My love is. Daylight is laid to rest beneath all the rubble, and all that runs through my flesh is a spirit of trouble. Under moonlit sky, I'm desperate to feel more alive. Dreams that keep me wide awake. Call me up out of the bed.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another wonderful, beautiful day and another wonderful, beautiful duel stream, boys. How y'all doing? Last duel stream of this patch, so we are going to be heading into 905 very soon. So hopefully you guys are excited. Hopefully as excited as me. I am thinking either, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking get the warrior Ventier while he's Ventier, get him his key down for the week, maybe like a 14 with guildies, and then swap the covenant. Because I feel like if I swap it too early, dude, nobody's gonna take a warrior with a Maldraxian covenant. Like, I'm not getting into a 14. I'm getting into like an 8, and I'm getting bracers again, or another ring, because I feel like I have like so many rings on that warrior from the weekly that I literally could if I had 5 fingers, I would literally be able to have blink. I would be blinked out, like for real. It's ridiculous, because that warrior apparently he just needs rings. Something in the game says he needs that bling. How you guys all doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope all of you are having a wonderful, beautiful day, boys. Hope all of you are having a wonderful time. You're gonna be hopping in, getting some duels up and running, and trying to get as many of them done on NA. What's up, DC? We got ourselves Hester, we got ourselves Belly, we got ourselves Isaac, we got ourselves Christers, Jacko, XSO, we got ourselves Jesper, we got ourselves Caleb, Zuli, username, my man, how you doing? The boys are all here. How are all you guys doing today? Tomorrow is a day off. Sorry for being a little late. YouTube was like, oh, this video will upload really quickly. And then it was just stuck at 80% for a while. And it was like, oopsies, something's taking a while. I think I know what it is. It's probably the audio. Because it's not the audio that I usually do. I had to rip it from the stream because it was the Demon Hunter game yesterday. And I really want to show it to you guys. But I didn't have the mic recorded portion. I don't know why. So I just ripped it from the stream. But I'd go through like a weird... I don't download it from YouTube because you can. But I go through like a faster way to get the video so I can edit it quickly. But it probably does something with the audio for all we know. But how y'all boys all doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope all of you are having a wonderful, beautiful day. Let's hop right on and let's get the music in here as well, boys. Let's get the tunes up and running as well. Any of you excited for 9 to 5? Any Covenant revamps? Because there's a pretty big switch, man. Rogues, what are you guys going to be playing, dude? That's a pretty big hot topic right now. Should you re-roll from the Kyrian and Night Fae? That is the big question right now, dude. Should you, for Raids, go Ventir? For Mythic Plus, go Necrolord? Are you gonna make that switch, or should you play it safe? We don't know. Because if you make the switch now, you could get basically caught up with a lot of the renown before the Tuesday, probably. If you just grind, if you just do a full raid clear and grind a bunch of stuff, you really could do it in a single sitting, dude. Bro, between Ventir and Necro, what do you think is good? I'm a huge fan of Ventir, so I will tell you, I'm a little biased. I'm a huge big fan of Ventir. Team Edward for me, man. But Ventir is looking like it's simming really good right now in the early sims. I think it's gonna have potential for pure single target, especially if you're thinking of playing Assassination pure single target. I think it's a solid option. Necrolord is also a very solid option. I mean, please with Blade Flurry. I feel like if you're gonna only do Mythic Pluses for Outlaw, you should consider really think about going Necrolord Outlaw Rogue, because that probably is gonna be a really solid combo for Mythic Pluses. But I feel like no matter what spec you are, if you just like the idea of Necrolord, the fact that those two covenants, so most covenants for rogues are within 2% of each other of like performance. The less than, in the lower section of the 2% are the Ventir and Necrolord, and with these buffs I think it's gonna do like a flip where Kyrian could be towards the back of the line. They are saying right now with rogues, okay, for at least Outlaw, they're saying that it's gonna be between 7 to 200 damage difference at most for all sim styles. AoE, single target, cleave, 70 to 200 damage, not deep, like I guess in terms of DPS. It's such a small number. That's so small. But it looks like you're saying Ventir is much burstier. Necrolord is strong for any content that involves more than one target. Ventir and Nightfare are looking like the strongest for single target. Basically, it looks like Kyrian is still going to be pretty good most likely, but yeah, if you want to switch your Covenant, right now would be the time to do it, man. Right now would be the time to do it. For the rogue stuff, Ventir is looking best for assassination, at least at the moment. Except Kyrian. Kyrian barely sucks for assassination. Yeah. Oh man. Subtlety. Do they have anything? Subtleties are all really close. Necrolord slightly behind still, even after the changes. But that makes sense because it's a lot of common points in order to generate a lot. But if you want to play it, like that bone spec does more damage than the Shadow Strike. So, you know. Alright, we got us Chicago and Night King first up. We also should have a Boom with a special guest in there. As soon as we see Boom as part of the group, we want to get him in there immediately. Night King. Oh, Chicago with a Q, right? Yeah, it is with a Q. For some reason I thought it was actually a G, but it's actually a Q. Nightfade Warrior is okay-ish. It's actually really good for Mythic Plus. It's actually really good for Mythic Plus. I'm a farm Volpera rep and a roll of Volpera Rogue Assassin thing. Go for it. Do it. I think you'll like it a lot. Are you gonna go Venthyr Volpera Assassination or Bone Spike Assassination? Whatever you play, guys, I think it'll still be good. Honestly, I think it's like the Sims are already really close for rogues, man. The Sims are already like extremely close for rogues, and I think it's just gonna continue. It's just gonna get even closer. It's just gonna get even closer because they're buffing the weaker covenants. But how much weaker are they? They're not exactly like a mage where Nightfade is the top tier king and everybody's like little serfs of the Necrolord carrying, you know, are they even real mages kind of deal? Like with rogues, it was really solidly competitive. Like it was ridiculous. It was like Frost Death Knights. They actually have options. You know what I mean? Switch. We got ourselves first duel of the day with Team 1, having ourselves Chicago on that team as an enhancement with 2 big bonk hammers in there. We got ourselves also Wombat Rogue, Combat Wombat with Casey. We got ourselves flexing in the back as well as Peachy. My man, how excited are you for the Necrolord Boomy? 35% more dot damage. You could go for that root playstyle where the root has a dot and combine that together maybe for some biggie damage. So this is going to be interesting. Peachy's been a Necrolord, I think, from the start of this expansion. Like from the get-go, he decided, I'm going to play Necrolord. I want to play Necro. And now it's getting buffed. Now he's already ahead of the competition. If any druids are swapping, dude, he's going to be ahead of them. We got Byron's on the other team as 5. And Peachy is also 5. Oh, I wonder. It's interesting how so both people that are playing against each other are both 5s on their teams, at least with my key bindings. Going to be bashing the Byron's. Cyclone for Peachy as Byron's popped the trinket. I think he was trying to go for a Cyclone on the Frenzy region so he doesn't get a heal. But Peachy is going to at least get himself some resources out of it. Byron sat in defensive stance in bear form for a bit. Starshooter is still hitting him. Is going to pop cooldowns of his own. That's going to be Incar for Incar. And Silence for Peachy. Come back. The Spirit's coming down for Byron's. Peachy bailing out of there. Trying to go for a bit of a heal. Byron's was not able to get majority of the Convoke into Peachy, but he did end up getting himself some self-healing. Peachy repositioned to the top side of the pillar, and it's going to be a Sacco into Byron's. Doesn't get a chicken out of him. Actually, going to be both chickens out of the Boomkins, but Peachy does have slightly more control. Still cool is available for Byron's. Silenced by Peachy on the nature cast, and then Incarn is fading right now. So both of the druids are actually really close to one another. Peachy's still holding on to a bark skin. Peachy is playing Disarm, so it looks like it also Byron's is also playing Disarm. We saw quite a bit of melee on the other team, so you know they were like, you know what, maybe prep. And I think actually this beam counts as a damage over time. Like what Peachy's gonna hit by this beam, that's part of dots. It technically treats the game treats it as a dot, so you're gonna do more damage with it. You can do 41,000 damage on a player within 8 seconds with this Necrolord setup, at least from the some numbers that I've read. We'll see how good this is gonna be in the future. Peachy extending the swarms. Byron's is playing the Nightfade dominant covenant. I feel like Nightfade is still going to be really good, but if a druid ends up going Necrolord and the dots are actually quite good, it could be insanely good. Byron's actually getting a cast in Peachy's face, trying to go for regrowths, trying to assert that dominance, as Peachy is going to try to reposition himself. Both the druids are out of CDs, so we're waiting until one of them gets a decent setup here. Going to be a knockback onto Peachy, as Byron's is still trying to stay aggressive, even though he's slightly behind on health. Bash by Peachy. Is he going to get himself a setup? Couple Star Surges available into a Cyclone, but Byron's is low. And Byron's did go for a self-heal right before that Cyclone hit. So that is going to be renewal. I think maybe he was trying to save off until he gets his emergency heal available for later. But we'll have to find out. Peachy is going to be getting self-heals back-to-back with that Swarm. Couple Star Surges of Byron's. There goes the Barkskin with a self-heal for Byron's. Is going to be able to recover quite a lot. Druid self-healing, by the way, is kind of nutty. Bash into Peachy. Is going to pop a Barkskin here as he's getting blasted with a beam from the sky. The laser beams out of both of them. And Peachy actually dropping to about half his health. Getting interrupted. Convoke coming out. Peachy does not have a way to stop it, but looks like Byron's is not even hitting Peachy. That Convoke, I think, targeted his team members, which is super unfortunate. Now, much you can do in a duel like this is going to catch the Cyclone on Peachy before he gets cloned himself. So he should be able to maybe get himself an advantage. Is going to get into that Eclipse. And Peachy getting that Cyclone guarantee. His Swarm, I think, actually does disappear because the Swarm did swap on a Cyclone target. So he's going to have to get the Swarm back up and running. Kind of unfortunate there. 3 minutes of this duel of Boomies. I don't think we've ever really had a Boomy duel like this before. And they just don't have too many tools in order to keep disrupting one another. I mean, they kind of sort of do with the silences and the roars. but it's just the damage is questionable sometimes. Silence on the Byrons. Is he actually out of options? Is going to Cyclone him as he goes for Friends in Regen. That heal actually goes nowhere with that Cyclone being out. So for Peachy, this is huge. It's going to get himself resources. Incarnation getting used as Byrons tries to go for a setup. Cyclone bashed on it. Does Peachy have enough damage? Barskin might be enough for Byrons to survive. Peachy's trying to max out damage. Roar real quickly, knocking him down, preventing the heal. Byrons does look like he gets that emergency heal off either way. So it looks like that first Frenzy Regen was just his normal bare Frenzy Regen, but he did have an emergency heal coming up. If you drop below a certain amount of health, I think 50%, you get, I think, Iron Bark and the Frenzy Regen with a Conduit, which I cannot for the life of me get it on my Druid. And I literally have a 1 empty slot for a defensive Conduit for my PvE setup, and I'm like, I have nothing to put in there. Peachy does have a little bit of survivability with that Fleshcraft. It is going to be much, much stronger in the next patch, giving you DR as well as a much more bigger shield. 40% of your health instead of 20. Because right now, I think you can get it to 50% of your health or 40%, but you have to have corpse nearby. Byron's trying to make some damage happen himself. Incarnation available. Peachy stuns it. Trying to make some damage happen himself as well. Is going to be having Barskin working here. Cyclone onto Byron's. Did they expect for him to go maybe for a heal? And Peachy is going to recover a little bit. Well, again, we're waiting until both of them get themselves some kind of a setup. Byron should be able to get himself a lot of healing just now. That bear from Frenzy Regen is actually massive. Actually, just so good for self-survivability. At least in comparison to the BFA versions of Boomies. Peachy exchanges some dots. Byron's is sitting kind of lowish on health, trying to go for some regrowths. Too bad Peachy is a boomkin, so he really does not have enough ways to interrupt the other guy at all. I mean, Druids just have in that kind of a position. Convoke coming out. Peachy actually playing it kind of defensive. I think he actually tried to go for a Shadow Mode to avoid a lot of that Convoke damage. Since Byron's looked at Peachy, he's like, you know what, he's kind of far. He can't really roar me. He's out of a bash. No silence. I can probably just Convoke him. And Peachy at least was really quick with that Shadow Melt, trying to dip out before any big Star Surges come out. Because that could be a really unlucky setup for Peachy. Byron's trying to make some damage happen. Trick can get it used. Silence on the Peachy with a laser beam and everything. Peachy playing it defensively. Does have Barskin for it. Taking a bit of damage though. Looks like recovery is back on the menu. Barskin available for Byron's. And I wonder if Peachy is actually going to continue doing damage into Byron's even through Barskin. Might have emergency healing available for him. Trying to stave it off with some regrowths. And it's going to get a cycle into Peachy. Again, the Druid, the Boomy Druid playstyle, dude, the duels. It just ends up being like, well, we can't really disrupt each other, so all we can really do is kind of PvE each other down. It's a lot of damage coming out. Peachy is going to dip into bear form. Lots of self-healing going on. And eventually, it is going to come down to dampening, unless one of the Druids goes for a knockback. Cyclone did not prevent the heal, though. He is sitting at less than half health. So Byron's, well, nope, it looks like he does still have at least one more Frenzy Regen. I think it's actually his own activated Frenzy Regen. So I guess we're waiting for Peachy to maybe get some cooldowns. He does have Incarnation coming up very, very soon, so he could potentially go for a play here. Does have quite a bit of resources available. Thorns for Byron's. Expected to play against a lot of melee here. It looks like it didn't happen. Peachy trying to make some damage happen. Knockback onto Byron's. Looks like Byron's is lagging a little bit. Bash onto Peachy. It looks like he reversed the damage back to Peachy. Not looking all that good. Peachy does dip behind the pillar. Fleshcraft coming out to give himself an extra layer of defensive. And Byron's looking for a bit of a self-heal. As much as the Boomies can't really stop one another from being able to heal, it's kind of like they just, all they can do is look at each other, keep damage. It's like, well, I guess he's going to top himself off. I guess I'll have to try it again. It's such a weird duel. It's such a weird duel because I feel like in any other spec-to-spec duel, there's usually some kind of little mini interrupts every class has and like some kind of a setup. Druids are just like, they're just a big cannon of damage with not a lot they can really do to kind of shirk one another. They're just there blasting at each other. I feel like they could literally just go on the bridge, no line of sight, and just who has more damage. Just PvE contest at that point. Who has bigger DPS at that point? Except with self-heals. That's like the only thing they can really do is self-heal. Peachy trying to get some damage into Byron's. Does land a Cyclone. Was that emergency heals by Byron's, I wonder? Bash on the Peachy. Into Silence Convoke. Does Convoke do the damage he needs? And Big Star Surges. It looks like Byron's Convoke just did the job for him. With the Incarnation, massive damage together. Super unfortunate for Peachy, who looked like he was going for the long game and get himself a nice setup. Definitely his Necrolord Covenant is going to go a long way in the next patch. That dot damage is going to be a lot more killer. But man, that was a weird duel to watch. The Druid versus Druid, Boomy versus Boomy. There's just not much you could do to stop the other guy from healing. And it just ends up being like, okay, now you heal, then I heal. Wombat on the other hand, though, trying to make quick work of Byron's. It's going to have the emergency heal coming out available. And there goes the Duels a little bit more active here. Evasion available for Wombat. I guess expected to maybe evade a bash. Barks coming out for the Storms. Looks like he's just going to trunk down Byron's. Does Byron's have any kind of self-heal? Skin shot does have renewal. Looks like the seed pod comes out. If only he had renewal there last second, he would have been in a good spot. Revendare making sure that Byron's is actually dead before he starts dueling. Wombat does get himself a restyle, but the flare, the Hunter's Mark is still on him. Cheap shot onto Revendare, trick inside of it immediately. That's going to be a biting shot onto the Rogue. Trying to see if he can max range him, maybe even kite him, but looks like Wombat is on his tail, not letting him go anywhere. That's going to be the extra defensive for Revendare. Wait, what's with Wombat's health? Apparently he didn't need the resonating shot. I was thinking for a second, like he's just looking for more of a long game here. But apparently not. Looks like his pets are just apparently are killers. His pets are just monsters. Kaz is going to be up next. Revendare does not really have an answer here, except for a turtle. He just didn't have a trinket when he needed it. And Kha'Zix is going to hit with the freezing trap. Is he going to trick it out of it? I bet you not. But Revendare, your pets, man. Look at that healing. He actually covered so much health. I think Miss Master Country is going to come up. Plus, most of your Legos are getting buffed. No, none of your Legos were really good for PvE. To be fair, but none of them were really good for PvE, but they had uses for PvP. And if you ran any of those Legos in PvP, no, now all of them just got better. So it should be at least, if anything, more damage. Revendare trying to make sure he has a little bit of max range with Kha'Zix, setting up the Void Elf teleport to try to juke him out, and does go to the other side, expecting the Hammer of Justice out of Kha'Zix any moment. And as long as his pets attacking Kha'Zix, Revendare is in a good spot. Tried to go for the resonating arrow. Does not look like he clipped Kha'Zix with it, as Kha'Zix tried to stay away from it as best as possible. Going to keep his pets healed as best as he can. The pets do have to go all the way around the ramps. So if Kha'Zix just jumps down the ramp, he actually avoids the pets for a bit. Good stun onto the Paladin. Does get a bit of damage rolling. But Kha'Zix is a Paladin. He does have a lot of self-heal. Break it out of the trap immediately. Revendare trying to continue the maximum range on him. Is going to be Fade Death for a second with a heal coming out as he gets stunned. Bestial Wrath coming out while he's CC. Just going to get those pets rolling. Revendare taking big damage though. Carrying self-heal coming out. Kha'Zix wall available here. It looks like he does take down Revendare at the very last second. That was super unfortunate, but the Beastmaster Hunter did run out of cooldowns at the very, very end there. Chill Pill's going to be up next. Activating massive obliterates online. Kha'Zix is going to bubble out of this immediately. Seeing the potential damage out of Chill Pills, he knows that a Frost Athlete can do a lot of damage. He's going to treat him like a real opponent. Big obliterates just hacking right into Kha'Zix. He only has a blessing of protection, which is not really too much of a blessing. It's more of I guess Chill Pill is more of a boon, because while his auto attacks won't be able to go through, as long as he's getting those kill command or kill machine proc, obliterates, all those are 100% frost. 100% frost damage. That slices right through that blessing of protection. AMZ coming down with a pet in case he needs a pet for a CC. Throwing down the dragon just to break through the shield of vengeance. And that's going to be the pet sacrifice. Blind real quick onto Kha'Zix. Shield Pill is looking for a bit of a reset, looks like. Maybe waiting for some cooldowns. It's going to kite Kha'Zix a bit. Fleshcraft coming out as Kha'Zix does so wings available. So it's going to be a recovery and reset for the both of them to some extent. Kha'Zix getting hit with that interrupt. Really not good for him. Shield Pill is getting that Pillar of Frost up very, very soon. Is going to get the Remorseless Winter rolling. There goes the Pillar. Blessing of Protection isn't stopping it. It's going to be a short stun onto Kha'Zix. Those obliterates are going to go through. And down goes the Paladin with a massive grip onto Chicago. Immediately by Shield Pills. Going to take the momentum that he's built up so far. With the damages, go from one enemy to the next, getting that Death Strike heal. But Chicago looks like they have quite a bit of damage for Chill Pills. Is going to go for a self-heal, Legendborn, and a Death Coil spam. Chicago actually leaping in on Chill Pills. You don't have a health increase, do you, when you get low? It looked like you went for the, what is it, the charge. The Shaman charge. You're playing this enhancement as a Necrolord. By the way, that Lightning Bolt is getting beefed. Your Lightning Bolt is going to get buffed up quite a bit. So that's going to be very, very interesting. I wonder if you could play Chicago, Necrolord, Stormkeeper before they change it, so that your Necrolord ability of Lightning Bolt with Stormkeeper like what, 3 lightning bolts altogether, maybe 4. I don't even know how many you would get, but you should get a lot. Does go for another charge at Chilpas. I think missing that Sunder. Chilpas got some cooldowns rolling right now with extra help in hand. Sunder Chicago as Ascendance is available. Chicago could actually have a lot of damage out of this Ascendance. Big kills are available in a generation to keep him running. Chilpas kind of low on health. So is Chicago. Could be anyone's game. Chilpas actually out of CDs. Elixir Chicago still has his to keep on truck, and Chilpas playing it super defensively at this point. Does have a death pack. Going to be short stone, but Chicago set up. Chilpas does avoid it completely. Still holding on to his big defensive, but Chicago got so much self heals. Even at 54% dampening, he's still maintaining himself for now. Chilpas AMS is down. Might have to go for a death pack. I think he's trying to get some kind of CC, some kind of slows in Chicago. Looks like Spirit Walker's Grace is not going to let him go anywhere at all. AMZ coming down as well as a death pack. He's completely necrotic out. Blind on Chicago. Chicken Set immediately has Chilpas on the ropes. It looks like the enhancement shaman just outlived the damage of that of our man. Main man Chill Pills. That is a lot of self heals though. I mean, Frost DKs are really good at burst, but if Chicago could just survive the burst, that's just survivability. And Bummer is going to be up next. Hopefully his gameplay won't be a bum. Oh. Speaking about a bummer, damp. Yeah, it is damp trim. It is dampening. In dampening, Chilpas basically his heals go from like barely any to none, while Chicago goes from like godly heals to still solid heals. So that is a fair point. That is a fair point. And it looks like we actually have a legit bummer on our hands. Looks like Chicago is DC'd. Bummer is trying to give him, I feel like, as much of a time to come back. He's not really super giga committing on him. He's hitting him with spells, so then eventually you would get the Hunter to duel. But it looks like Chicago is not back. We gotta move on to the next person, boys. It's gonna be flexing. Wait, don't they have another Hunter in there? Wait, iFox? Oh, they still have Hunter on the team Mage. I didn't realize that. Wow, long game, by the way. I noticed NA does a lot of... I guess Boomy versus Boomy was kind of going to be a long game to begin with, but NA generally has a lot longer games. Let's see how that works out when Boom's team is available, because I might be bringing in a boy. I just got back. I'm so sorry, Chicago. You literally, as you get him back, that's where you got taken out. But the duels must go on, man. He gave you quite a bit of time though. He didn't nuke you, if anything. So at least Bummer, you could go back to the stream. He gave you a bit of time. Bummer though, taking lots of damage from flexing. Wait, flexing did already go vent? He's a vent there already, isn't he? It looked like there was maybe the flate shot there too. At least he gave you an opportunity, man. Bomber is not playing the triple shield legendary, so he's trying to play maybe a burst legendary. Kill shot does come from around the corner as long as he can take down the seed pod. Looks like the seed pod isn't down yet. I don't know if... Okay, he does take him out. iFox realized what he was doing. He just realized what happened. He realized what happened, but there's no... So at least he understood what went wrong. At least he backed up. He was like, oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. I can't blame him, honestly, but that's going to be survival versus survival. iFox, what kind of a covenant is he? It's hard to tell. I don't think we'll find out. As Flexing is playing that Venti, he does have those kill shots available. Kill commands available. Flexing now lagging. What? Okay, at least he got himself a defensive at the last second. iFox tried to go for a big carry setup, and Flexing did just pop a turtle into a bit of a self-heal. If iFox is super low, it looks like Flexing actually survived even though through lag. What is the lag going on today, boys? Byrons and Chill Pills got to do quite a bit of damage there. Looks like team 1 are the ones that end up winning that one. Flexing, finishing up the game. Very well played. Sad for the lag, but that was the first game of NA, and it was a good one. Everybody gets to play. I do appreciate the games where everybody gets to play, man. That's my favorite. That's my all-time favorite. 3 out of 5 pink T-Rex. All right, man. Sounds good. We can get you guys up and running. And I've been told, not by Boom, but I've been told that Boom is, oh, here we are. Okay, we have to get Boom in here. 5 pirates. I've been having 5 pirates here. Yar. Wait, for real? Okay, we got a Q, Night King of Chicago. I think it was Chicago's team that just won, so we'll Q versus Boom. And Night King will have you team prepared versus Pink T-Rex. If you guys need to let them know, like, which, whose groups. Hold on. US, SL, 81, 83. Not bad. Let me post a real quick link here real quick, boys. Let me post a a thing in the chat for the duels, how to join. Here we go. And I'm gonna pin it. But yeah, if you guys have a group that you're looking for more people for 5V5 Windows, let them know in the chat. Use the chat to advertise. We got ourselves Boom though. We're gonna get Boom in Chicago and then Night King versus Ping T-Rex. And then we'll try to see if you can queue you guys against each other in a way so that there's variety in there. You know what I mean? So there's variety. I was thinking of going Necro for my Rogue, even though Venti would be looking kind of pog. Yo, it's going to be a hard choice, man. I'm happy that I'm already Venti from the get-go. I was a huge fan of the Venti ability, though, so that's why I play Ventier. But if you're trying to decide which Covenant to go for Rogues, that's a hard choice, man. Those Ventier and Necrolord buffs are looking really, really good, man. I say hop on PTR and try to see if you can maybe make a Rogue on that Covenant. On PTR, and then test it out, run around, kill some dummies, try things, you know what I mean? Try it as much as you can so you know your decision is perma. Because also take a look at the soul binds. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with soul binds as well, because it's also soul binds, not only just the abilities themselves as well, boys. But yeah, it should be really good. Yeah, it should be really nutty. Yo, another high quality content online. Let's go, Del. What's up, Hansa? How you doing, my man? What's up, 40? How you doing, my guy? Hope you're having a good one. Blizzard! I know. Yo, hopefully we won't have any more DCs, man. Hopefully we won't have any more DCs. Alrighty, Twitch. We got ourselves Team 1 together with Soul. Might be the Soulscape you guys might have heard about. Tell you what, if Soul gets at least 2 kills, dude, well, I guess I should shout out him anyway. That's Soul. We got ourselves Boom as well. Playing out the Pirate. We got ourselves on that team Mjolnir as a Elemental Shaman, Southseed as a Monk, and we got ourselves a Maple. Is that Maple like your friend Maple? Because I know he has a friend named Maple in his chat all the time. Chicago gonna be first up versus Boom. That's gonna go nice honor duel. Outlaw versus the enhancement on that team. We also got us as Wargren swapping in for somebody flexing. Wombat in the back, as well as Drennan. Is that another enhancement? Is it another enhancement? We got a full team of Agi on team 2. And team 1, actually, also full team Agi. What is this? No strength classes? No in classes? All Agi? Bro, they actually, wait, they're almost perfect if only team 2 had a monk instead of a shaman, or they had a shaman instead of the monk for team 1. It would have actually been a mirror game, almost. Except for the Outlaw against Sub-Rogue. Gonna be Boom open up with a cheap shot into a gouge. He's playing an Outlaw, so he's gonna have to go for a little bit of a longer game. Since Outlaw and Duels, especially against an enhanced shaman with the healing they do. It's gonna be rough. Check it for Chicago with a wall available. Boom does have Adrenaline Rush rolling. Is gonna be backing away from Chicago. Sees that wall going for that reset. Although I found his Outlaw Rogue, I guess it makes sense to go for a reset when the cooldowns are up. But it just feels so bad sometimes just to go for a reset, you know what I mean? Soul skip that hero, right? Might be. Yes. Yes. I don't know why I was trying to do like this whole... I was gonna say originally, you know what? If Soul gets a 1v4 or 1v5, we'll plaster his Twitch link in the YouTube and the stream. But actually, I like the guy so much, like, I feel bad not doing it. So yes, that is Soul. I might need to find his link. Can somebody find his link on post it in Discord, and I'll post it in chat so you guys can watch his POV if he gets the chance to play. Unless Boom goes for 1v5, as Boom is a pretty skilled player. Ghost was disappearing as Chicago's sitting at CC. Rock Boy almost caught Boom. He saw him with his 2 eyes, his 2 lion eyes. He saw him with his lion eyes. He knew he was there. Poor Rock Boy, man. Almost was the playmaker. Almost was I mean, he's the playmaker. He's gonna give a big shield, big health increase to Chicago, which I'm a huge fan that the Earth Elemental does that. I'm a huge fan of that. Turning abilities that is generally not that useful into a defensive, I think it's really cool. Chicago leaping in, sundering Boom down, sundering the ground he stands on. Kid shot coming out for Boom. Is he going to be able to get himself a good setup here? Trying to make the dispatches work. Kill spree almost available for him. Into disarm to Chicago. Chicago should still be able to get quite a lot of self-heals. Short stun onto Boom as disarm disappears. And Chicago just gave himself a nice setup. It looks like Chicago so far has not been willing to invest a full ascendance into Boom. Getting shot by Boom into a killing spree. Chicago, though, getting mad heals with the Earth Shield Legendary. Very hard for him to bust through that defensive. Boom, though, not going anywhere. It's going to be actually Sky Fury for Chicago with the LA Plus. What? Elemental Blast with Sky Fury. That's a wombo combo you don't really see that often. Try to go for Thunder to Boom. Looks like Cloak of Shadows might have been what actually immuned him. That Thunder. Blind into Chicago as a go for Ascendants. It looks like Boom maybe gouged Chicago earlier, so you can't go for a resap. You might be too much, so you get one shot shoot. That's usually how it goes, right? I like Soulscape, dude. I don't know. Every time I see one of you boys that going for 1v5s all the time, I know there's somebody in chat that never seen those guys, so I get super excited, dude. I know I shouldn't be rooting for anybody, right? But I get super excited with some of these guys today. Like Boom on a Rogue, dude. Huge fan. Huge fan. Cheap shot onto Chicago, trying to make some damage happen. Looks like the Kyrian actually proven itself to be quite a good ability for the Outlaw. Disarm as the Ghostwolves come out. For Chicago, there's no real issues there because the Ghostwolves are going to give him quite a bit of Maelstrom. That's a lot of stuff. Feels Boom does avoid the stun totem. Going to be Sky Fury down. Does Chicago get big damage? Trying to go for a big Sunder. Is going to leap towards Boom with a Gouge to disrupt him. Do they have the Elemental Blast? I don't know if they do or don't. Stun by Boom. Chicago Earth Shield, though. Maintain them. Boom is Outlaw is all about those little auto attack hits left and right. Sinister Strike hits, Mastery hits, and that's a lot of little bits of damage. Kind of like an Assassination Rogue would be. Or I guess so. Yeah, an Assassin Rogue would be also that too, because, you know, it's a hit, poison application, bleed ticks, those things. And all those things can proc your Earth Shield. And Chicago is running the Earth Shield Legendary, so that's doing a lot of self-heals just with any of those little hits. Could proc that Earth Shield Legendary, which could be a huge heal for Chicago. So he basically has a Restoration Druid on him, but he's also the Restoration Druid all the time. So it's kind of nuts. Although it looks like Chicago's taking a bit of damage though. Big Elemental Blast on the Boom, doing quite a lot of damage. Sundering does disrupt Boom for a second. They could have shot Dusk him out. Gonna be a trick for Chicago. Boom most likely has some CC rolling. Blind should be available very, very soon. Boom is gonna be rotating a invasion for this one. Adrenaline Rush is still rolling, trying to make some damage happen versus Chicago. One more Elemental Blast without a Cloak of Shadows could be really bad for him. Gouging Chicago. Does he have any more CC setups? Blind. And no more chicken for Chicago. Boom should be able to take down the totem and then go for a reset. But he's still in a tough situation right now. If Chicago can somehow reconnect with Boom and get him out of stealth, maybe pick up the eyes, get him out of stealth, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Does go for the Sippy Cups. I feel like it's been forever since I've done the Sippy Cup playstyle. Also, Outlaws are getting they've been broken in PvP so far, as in they've been buggy. Looks like he's actually going to get Boom out in the open before he even picks up the eyes. But Boom does get himself quite a bit of a reset there. Killing Spree coming in on Chicago, taking a bit of damage though. Does get the Slime Shield to proc. Actually, Boom busted it pretty quickly. Does he have the momentum here? Chicago with one single heal and only 8% dampening tops himself off from half health to full health. That is a tough one for an Outlaw to fight. Like, Shamans generally are not that difficult for rogues overall, unless maybe second element to Shaman, because those guys can be quite tanky. But in this expansion, dude, with that Earth Shield, it is tough. Not gonna lie, it is tough, dude. That's just a lot of heals. Chicago dropping to about half his health, Slime back in. Boom does have Cloak of Shadows, so as long as Chicago does not surprise him, Chicago actually gets Boom quite low, does go for a trinket, tried to go for an interrupt, didn't need to do the interrupt, get a shot. It looks like Boom does take out Chicago. It was a long fought battle, had to wait until that 12% dampener, but he did make it out alive, with Flexing going to be up next, picking up the yeah, he's picking up the eye. Does see Boom sneaking around the dot around the corner. Boom is going to get opened up on by Flexing with a stun right after no trinket out of this one. That's going to be lots of dot damage actually from a distance. He does have the Flate Shot rolling. Vanish for Boom, but looks like the trap actually broke him out running through the flare. Not in a great position, just the dots are melting him down. That's going to be Door of Shadows for Flex. It could be Kill Shot right next. Cloak of Shadows is available. That Kill Shot, though, in your back is not feeling all that good. And Boom is not in a great position. Gouges the pet, but I think he has nothing left at this point. That's a rough one, man. When that Vanish broke to the Star Trap, I feel like that was over. I feel like that's where that was over. And Soul is going to be up next. A completely different Covenant choice from Flexing. Venthyr versus Necrolord. With Necrolord getting beefed up, actually. I just love the way that chakra ability just like hits the person over and over and over. It just looks like a mess of green. It's fantastic. Looks like Soul says down a freezing trap in case Flexing get up close. Flexing though going for a full range playstyle, but Soul can play that game as well. Many advantages for Flexing, but looks like one of the dots does get him out. I think it's maybe the grenade dot, the fire damage. Gonna be a faint death for Soul for a second. as Flexing tried to reposition himself with a camo, so she should actually be able to get himself quite a bit of reset. That's going to be a nice reset with health. Only 8 minutes into the duel, so the healing is actually quite substantial for now. Flexing does hold on to a turtle. Soul, no trinket, does have a turtle as well. So both of them are very, very similar on CDs right now. Soul getting opened up on, does juke away from that steel trap. His pet does get trapped up in the steel trap, but at least he got some melee onto Flexing, avoiding the trap, avoiding whatever damage he can. And does get himself a medic bandage for a quick second, but I don't really know what must have interrupted him. Flexing does have a pretty good angle to get that range damage rolling, trying to dot up the pet as well as Soul. He needs to get that flame shot in there so he can start getting those kill commands or kill shots from time to time. And Soul looks like he's actually kind of backing up a little bit, attacking the pet, harpooning towards Flexing. I think he's actually just going to focus down on Flexing's pet to make sure there's none of that kill command action, none of that pet heal action. Stun to Flexing, he is focused, he's determined to take down the pet. I think he's going to try to see if he can force a turtle shell out of Flexing with this, try to force him to go for the pet revive. And that might be the way to go. Does get a freezing trap on his Soul. Pet revive, wait, can he get the pet to attack him? Oh no, I don't know if the pet attack actually would have stopped him at all. But he did get his pet reset there. Freezing trap on Soul does freeze the pet for a moment. Flexing is not going to be caught out by that feign death. Flesh capture available for Soul. Should be able to get himself a lot of health recovery, or at least if anything, a decent absorb. In the next match is going to be much stronger as a defensive freeze him to Soul as Flexing does drop kind of low. Looks like the pet is there to keep attacking him, so manic bandages don't go through. And Soul might have some damage there. Flexing does give himself that line of sight that's necessary. And Soul feign death for a second. Manic bandage recovering a lot of health. Flexing does poke out to try to disrupt that heal. And as long as Flexing can go for maybe a CC onto the pet, he might be able to go for a heal of his own. It could be anyone's game here at this point. 10 minutes into the duel. Flexing throwing down the chakrams. Does go feign death. Does go for a nice setup with the flame shot on the Soul. Goes in for a turtle shell. Flexing might actually be able to get himself a bit of a reset. Manic bandage coming out for Soul. It looks like Flexing is just kind of keeping his pet on Soul the whole time, just trying to keep it aggressive as best as he can. Harpoon as Flexing gets hit with a stun. Drink inside of it. Turtle shell is available. Soul hits it with the freezing trap. Drink inside of it. Not in a great spot. That could be a kill shot right here any moment. And it's really, really dire situation for both of the hunters. Flexing just needs an angle and he'll be in a good spot. Going for manic bandage to make sure he guarantees himself a win. And Soul hitting it with a stun. I think it's over here. If Flexing can get the angle, it's done. Does get him some acceleration. Still could be a lot of damage. Kill shot. Does feign death in the last second. Camo. He gets the camo. Goes into a flare though. Unfortunate. Wait, he's still alive though. He's still alive. He's still doing okay. While you're alive, you are okay. Oh, how did that grenade work? Freezing trap with Flexing. Oh, he has nothing. That's a pet that's just attacking you at this point. One more auto, dude. That's it. That rapture just leapt. That was so clutch, dude. That was so close. Oh my goodness. Mjolnir is going to be up next in that team. Get hit with a... Wait. Mjolnir is... Okay. I was talking to Rogue person altogether. Dude, that was actually such a clutch game. It was so clutch. I feel like Flexing just had way too many moments where he would create line of sight. Like he would throw grenade and then create line of sight. It was just LOS, grenade, and just kind of keep running. And I feel like that's just too many moments where the dodge just keeps stacking. Mjolnir, though, get hit with a stun, and he basically has no health. He also is playing enhancement. Trying to go for a heal. I mean, that was just a lot of damage. I didn't even... What? Mjolnir, my man! I went to turn around to the pad, get some maelstrom off it. That was just a lot of damage. And Flexing over there, just comfortable. He has Mjolnir under pressure just with that pet alone. Just going for a bit of a heal. Trying to see if he can reposition. He is always aware where enemies are, trying to make sure to dot him before they really get the full line of sight behind the pillar. Harpooning onto Mjolnir with a freezing trap. As he did drop down a stun totem, which actually would have been really good, but Flexing did get out of it. Look at that. Getting those dots. He has the pillar. He's chilling by the pillar in case Mjolnir is attacking him. He always has this good angle. Like he practices his angles. Looks like Mjolnir finally getting melee, but that's going to be a harpoon or disengage available for Flexing. Ascendant's coming down. Flexing trying to see if he can stop it. Just harpoon Mjolnir for a root. Massive, massive chain harvest. That did not feel good. He still has wind strikes, though. This could be really bad for Flexing. Does he have anything? Shadow meld? I think those wind strikes take him out. I think you're just out of it. Mjolnir came back. He took a lot of damage from Flexing way early, but he just kept on trucking. Also, I just noticed that Flexing did have the Draven Soulbind. So under 40% health, he actually had a 10% DR. the whole game. As long as he's under 40% health, he just has DR the whole time. Drennan gonna be up next, enhance versus enhance. And that's gonna be a bloodlust for Drennan, I think. No, actually it wasn't bloodlust. What is that? When he gets all like glowy like that. What is that? Stormkeeper maybe? Mjolnir taking lots of damage though as Drennan just pounding those wind strikes into the guy. And he still has plenty of ascendants to go. Try to bloodlust and try to counter the damage with more damage. But Drennan does survive it. And who is up next on the other team? It's either going to be Maple or Sylphid. Looks like he's looking at Maple. Probably looking at Maple like, hey man, it's time for you to go. He even flared him like, hey, you're next. Or not. Looks like Sylphid is next. Apparently. Drennan though got himself Earth Shield available, so it's going to be extra health. Going for a early eye, trying to stay ahead of the Hunter. As we get into the 14-minute duel, boys, 56% dampening. Drennan's still going to have a little bit of heals, but Sylphid being a survival hunter, if he plays it just like flexing, that's a lot of damage over time that eventually whittles down the enemy. And Drennan cannot deal with any of the poisons. He can't remove poisons, he can only remove curses. Sylphid got himself also the biggie damage with that Kirin setup. Should be quite a lot. Going for them Raptor Strikes, harpooning towards Drennan in case he wants to really get into the melee, into his face. And Drennan trying to see if he maybe can turn up the damage, but looks like Sylphid just got way too much survivability and way too much mobility before Drennan can really get the damage rolling. Tar Trap, I mean, Drennan just does not want to run that long distance to Sylphid. He's already melting, and in any more melee damage, any more lack of line of sight, and that's how that game is going to end. Just got super low as an enhancement shaman. I think out of mana too. It's so tough, like I have way higher numbers of the dampening. It just becomes almost impossible to win. Sylphid taking lots of damage from Wombat though. That should be a pretty big sepsis. And actually, I think it's going to be almost... Oh my god. I don't know if Sylphid had a turtle or not. Maybe it was feeling, you know what? I might live without a turtle. I don't know if you had a turtle there. I'm going to guess he didn't. Because that was a lot of damage on a Wombat. Not even stopping to take a break. Already opening up on Maple. Lots of damage with Shadow Strikes into blind on a Trinket Karma. I feel like there's no way out for this monk at this point. I feel like Wombat has a kill secure, but we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe Maple will surprise us. Maybe Wombat will make a crucial mistake like DR and his sons. Because you never really know. Sapping him out full. That's a full stun. It's over. Wait. That's over. He had a delay with us. He had a global there where you're just waiting for a second. Like, is he going to do it? Is it going to end him? All right, boys, let's go again. Let's go again, man. What is rogue damage? Dude, rogues with 100% crit, they're nuts right now. Plus that, with the sepsis, it's huge. It's huge. Yes, we can get pirates to go again. Night King, are you ready, my guy? We can get you guys in. So we'll get you guys that. Okay, we'll get Night King in. Chicago versus Pink Churex if he is ready. Afterwards, how does that sound? Pink, if you need, if you want to advertise your group in chat, you're more than welcome to, my guy. Feel free to spam the chat, let them know that, hey, we got an alliance or a horde group, this many people, whatever. Yes. Tell Soul not to go anywhere. The pirates are gonna go next. Again. Versus Night King this time. You guys are getting a different team. How can I join? 5V5 1V1 DUELS. You just open up LFG and go to LFG, player versus player, premier group, custom PvP, find group, 5, enter, and you're good to go. You should find yourselves a group called 5V5 1V1 DUELS. If you don't see one, you can always make one yourself by hitting start group instead of find group. Call it something like 5V5 1V1 DUELS Dalaran. Hit list group. Get yourself 4 people in. Let me know that you have a group. I'll add you on Real ID and I'll queue against one of the boys that's playing. That's more or less how that works. So is requeuing. Perfect. My one Dr. Pepper of the day, dude. Oh. It's good stuff, man. I've been drinking Dr. Pepper a lot less. Or soda in general. But it makes you appreciate it more. Привет, Dalaran, удачного стрима. Большое спасибо, Adam. Wait. Amedehi? Thank you so much for coming by, man. Yo, how you doing? A little bit of Russian here. Getting you an across someone hopping on again. It was fun yesterday, bro. Wouldn't that be cool? It lags the game too much, though, having to instance it while recording, while streaming it, though. We were getting some mad frame drops. So I think what we'll do is we'll continue the whole Friday, Saturday thing. But I wouldn't be against that, actually. Like, if I had, like, a streaming setup, one PC just for streaming, one PC just for playing, I feel like we wouldn't have those same like dips in FPS. So actually, I'm not against doing it Friday, Saturday, EU and NA at the same time, but we'll consider it in the future. Got turned into Asmon, dude. I've loved Dr. Pepper before everybody started drinking Dr. Pepper, man. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. There it is, dude. You guys want to do go transmo competition, dude? Come on, man. My hairline isn't that bad. I love Asmon though, dude. I'm trying to make jokes here. That's all jokes. I don't mean anything bad by it. That's just jokes. That's just all jokes. I've loved Dr. Pepper forever though. Switch. Hope you're having a good one, man. Yo, I'm having a great day, Melkor. I hope you are having a wonderful, beautiful day, dude. We got us this team too with iFox on that team. We also got us as Revendare as PM, Chilp as a Frost DK. We got Bummer as an Arcane and Byron's as a Boomy first up. And boom, going up again. Is that what's going on here again? Outlaw Rogan. It looks like they actually send the bear back. Is the Druid going to be first up or maybe not? I think they're actually switching around. Looks like Revendare is going to be first up, hunting down the rogue. On this team, we got a slight switch up. Sylphin's still there. Maple's still there. Boom, getting caught out in the flare. We got ourselves Mjolnir, but also got Soul Paw. Soulscapes. Feral Druid, man. Soul Paw. I like Soul Paw. That's going to be Revendare actually going for that carrying setup. If I can only find where he's at. It's going to get some right side onto Boom. Trying to see if he can hit him with a body shot. Looks like he does get caught, but the Conquer shot is coming out for it. Taking out one of the Raptors, actually. Which one of the T-Rexes, rather? One of those things looks like a raptor. It's like a bird raptor thing. Freezing trap on the Boom. He does trick it out of it. Actually taking down one of the Beastmaster 100 pets. Reduces the damage greatly. He's going to have to go for a turtle revive pet. He actually, I feel like, outplayed the Beastmaster Hunter by taking down the pet behind the pillar. He actually did such a good job because for Revendare, that's just loss of damage. Does have a Void Elf reposition if he needs to. He's going to have small line of sight onto Boom, enough to hit him with a concussive shot. But he's just waiting out until then. Boom, getting hit with a stun. Now look at that good. These pets are actually doing quite a bit of damage. Sitting in that kill shot range very, very soon. Blinder to Revendare is going to get himself that sippy cup from the Curium by the looks of it. It looks like one of those pets is going to go down at some point or another. Revendare better have line of sight of the pets and get himself a pet man. Otherwise, it's a lot of your damage is going to be gone. Bonding shot on one side, trying to kite Boom into it. That's going to be the Cure on the other. Boom is definitely going to get caught out in the middle. Doesn't really have an answer here. He does try to go for a big setup with those strikes. The pet does go down. Revendare, if he's not aware, he might need to get a pet up, but looks like he doesn't need to yet. He can just go for that kill shot. Oh my goodness. Beastmaster 100 damage is so good. The consistency is so great. We'll have to wait until Revendare figures out his pet is missing. Boom did have himself the play. That was the play to take down the pet. That was actually the play. But it was rough, man. That's a rough one. Because by the time you're done with the pet, that thing has just bitten so much out of you. It is rough for certain. It is 100% rough. As an Outlaw in a 1v1, it is rough. By the way, our legend is for Outlaw getting buffed. So maybe we'll see more Outlaws. We got a pistol shot that'll do minimum 6k with green skin Lego. So imagine that as a crit. 6k baseline. That's a lot of damage for an Outlaw, suspect like Outlaw with no burst. Also, the fixing control is king. Finally. Rejoice! We'll actually be able to play it. It's our best auto sound. And it's been broken for years, it feels like. Revendare, though. Gonna be out versus Soul. Soul knows that the hunter's out here. The pet's actually on the other side. Leaping in with a freezing trap. Must have been expected. Scared Beast! Wait, does that is DR. That actually does not DR. He's going to have a body shot for it. He does power shift out of it pretty early. And that's going to be that teleport available with the... Wait, is he not able to move still? Looks like maybe there's a bit of a bug there. The Kyrian comes down. That's going to be Revendare getting free damage with Soul Paw, who has to go for a wall here. Playing it super defensively right now. Does have a Petra, at least put some bleeds off of, and Revendare has that line of sight perfectly set up. But now Soul is on the prowl. That's going to be Maim, Dust Trick, and Stun Soul. And that's going to be Scarab Beast. Interrupt the Scarab Beast. Is that a nature interrupt? Is that a nature cast? What school spell are you locked out of when you get interrupted? Soul Paw getting hit with a freeze and trap. He's kind of low on health though. Another Scarab Beast just to see him even more. As Revendare getting those pets in. And the Scarab Beast doesn't break immediately. Those pets can get a couple autos in before it gets really bad. Soul Paw is going to be behind the pillar. Those Beastmaster pets really do put in effort. They're putting in work. They're putting in the numbers right now. Barset for Soul. As Revendare gets hit with a Maim, if only. There was a Convoke available for that one. I saw the burst he was trying to do with Convoke. That was tough though, man. He had a trinket and it's not available for it. Kyrian set up for Revender. Does have a nice juke. He'll position himself completely. Should have some line of sight. At least one of the pets is rooted. Soulpaw find himself kind of low in health though. Could be that kill shot. It looks like, oh, Revender is just built differently. He's just on a whole nother level with that beast mastery. Those pets, what have you been feeding them? Or maybe that's the trick. You don't feed those pets anything. So then when they really go after the target, they go in with that ravenous frenzy. That was tough. That's a, I would have to say a pretty decent, at least a pretty decent Beastmaster Hunter. That is some damage right there. Maple, though, going to be up next as a Windwalker Monk. Playing very similar to Boom, very similar to Soul, but I think the mobility is one thing Maple does have slightly ahead of. Well, look at these pets! They're just tearing into Maple. Fist of Fury just to parry the pets. Karma pretty early on. As you can say with a stun, might have not have been a bad idea. Maple, though, might also have not the greater gear, guys, so that is something to consider here. As a monk, he did take a lot of damage from this pet, so it could be maybe a monk's lack of gear. Maybe? I don't want to prejudge, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Just keep that in mind. Kyrian set up with the Maple, but that's going to be a leg sweep on the Hunter. Might have the big damage here. The images are doing quite a lot. That's going to be a stun on the pet as well. And Ravender needs to give himself some heals right now. Maple super low. Both of them are super low. It could be just a DPS race at this point. Ravender is super low. Does get a freezing chop on the Maple. Looks like that breaks it with a trinket. Blind shot right after. Ravender is not in a great spot. Does get himself a heal. Barely any defenses left. Maple finds himself kind of low as well. Again, could be anyone's game. Zuwen comes in, but he's not hitting Ravender. Looks like the kill shots come out. Oh my goodness. Lack of gear, big damage anyway. Because he did do pretty big damage, because I know Soul's Feral is pretty geared. And now Boom, I'm pretty sure Boom's, most of his characters are fairly well geared. Not like insane 226, like Giga, 232 weapons for all of them, but majority of them have should have decent gear. Mjolnir gonna be up next. Can Revender go for a 1v5? That's a Feral, that's not an easy class to beat as a Hunter. But Beastmaster is just different, man. It's not quite survival, it's just different. The consistent damage really goes through for this Void Elf, man. That's going to be the Kyrian. Mjolnir, unless he's sitting furthest away from that body from Kyrian setup, he's trying to avoid it as best as possible. It's literally like a Ring of Peace. It's a great zoning tool right now. But Mjolnir is still taking a bit of damage from all those pets, even though Byron's isn't able to really contribute to that damage. Mjolnir does find himself at half his health, and that's going to be Revender. Did he take down Totem, or was that a grounding totem trying to ground a Cobra shot? I'm pretty sure it wasn't a grounding totem trying to ground a Cobra shot, was it? Mjolnir, though, finds himself in a situation where he just has to go for the heals with a binding shot. Does spot with Walford, though. And Revender trying to pull his pets back, trying to give him a bit of a heal. Door of Shadows coming in, as it looks like Mjolnir might be able to go for a big setup. Sylphid might be going up next year, or maybe he's going to have to wait a little bit longer before Mjolnir goes in, maybe for a pop-off. Find himself again low. Maelstrom still available. We are only at 7 minutes of the game, 16% dampening, so still a lot of healing is up. And Mjolnir pushing in for Revender. Revender doesn't really have a lot of defenses. Does go for a Kyrian Sippy Cup. Mjolnir finds the Hunter super low health. Trying to cut him as best as he can. Getting a little bit of health increase here. It's going to be that Kyrian setup. Mjolnir pushing in. Might go for the big damage. Healing Surge coming out. Kill shot comes in. And Revender finds himself with full health. Okay, he has to be playing the Kyrian Sippy Cup that gives you healing over time. There's no way he isn't. Both Hunters throw down a flare. It looks like Sylphid was found out. At least his pet was. Yeah, this Survival Hunter was definitely found out. Does Revender pull off the big play here, boys? Does he go in? Does he go for the big bucks? Does he win it all? Trying to go for binding shot on Sylphid. He can't disengage out of it. Actually going to go for a Master's Call. Trying to get aggressive with Revender. Making sure that he can hit the Hunter before the pets really connect. Stun to Sylphid. Is going to trigger that a little late. Stun back into Revender. No chicken available for the Beastmaster Hunter. The Kyrian comes down for Sylphid. Trying to make some damage happen. But looks like the pets for Revender are just doing work. Even though Sylphid is the one bursting. The Hunter. Oh my goodness. Revender. Beastmaster Hunter. I think potentially, I could be wrong, but I think that's the first 1v5 for a BM Hunter, boys. Oh my god, this man is a monster. Oh my goodness. Revender. That was nutty. Yo. Beastmaster Hunters are getting buffed with the leggings, boys. I'm a little afraid now. I'm a little afraid. He just started from the start with Boom, and he just took it all the way to the end. That's crazy. Still ready? Yeah, I can tell. Do we get Boom? Let me know if you got a Team Chicago Pink T-Rex. We should probably switch you guys around a little for variety. Yeah. Oh man, that's rough. Is Soul gonna play more of these? Oh, by the way, let me link Soul. I was hoping one of you guys would link it in Discord. Soulscape. I don't know if he's streaming or not. Please, Twitch, don't do the thing. Okay. Here's Soulscape, guys. Great World PV. Okay. I want to make sure I'm muted in case there's music. In case there's music, go say hi to Soulscape. This man is wonderful. Great content. If you're a huge fan of World PvP, Hunter, Warlock, Feral, Nutty Feral. If you want to see some biggest bites you've ever seen, watch that guy. YouTube channel, great thumbnails. Also great content as well. Definitely somebody you should be following on Twitch if you do use Twitch. I don't really go on Twitch that often, but if he's up, dude, I always lurk. I'll just be there. I don't even talk sometimes because I usually don't talk at Twitch streams that much. Or any streams really, I just watch, just chill. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to play much more, or if Boom maybe is not going to be put in a group together. But if you guys don't see him on here, follow him there. What's up, Igor? How you doing, my man? Chicago 5 still? Okay, we'll throw Chicago back at Night King, and if Pink T-Rex can get a group, they'll be in a good spot. Night King still just gotta go. Get Chicago chill pills? Yeah, we're gonna get those two against one another. Since both of them are ready. Definitely. Okay, so Boom does have a group. I see him forming something with a couple other people. Decline? Okay, hold on. Chicago or Night King? I'm gonna have to redo it real quick. Couldn't watch chill? I know, dude. I know. Ravager just came in. Assassin Outlaw or sub? Pictures is with me? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, you are right about that actually. Wait, he was with Night King for a second, wasn't he? Oh yeah, he was with you. I thought makes sense. Choose it. Hold on. Wait. Alrighty. I don't really know the best way of doing it, but we got ourselves wheel. Wow, it does a whole confetti and everything. That's cool. But yeah, sub it is, man. Sub it is. Sub it up. Sub it up. Sub it up. Chicago and Night King. Did I accidentally queue Boom against one of them? Actually, I might have done that. I might have done that. Easy 1v5. Yo. We did 100% RNG there, dude. 100% RNG. Speaking about RNG, dude, I've been watching some videos on 40k. I want to get into Dungeons & Dragons at some point in my life, and I want to get to 40k, like actually with models and shit at some point in my life. I want to do that. And then I cannot wait for Baldur's Gate, and now I want to play some Divinity. I've been on that like really RPG dice rolling like bonanza of stuff that I've been watching recently. I want to say it's maybe playing Outwork, rolling the bones all the time, and you roll those dice all the time, see what you get. But it's just something fun about it, man. Just a bit of RNG there. I just find it kind of fun. I gotta make sure I save that one, by the way. Oh god. 84, 85. I know we done D&D. No, dude, 40k just got to pass here. Necrots for life. Yo, I'm kind of looking at Necrots are looking pretty good. I do like the idea of them. Churnids were really cool as a deal for like a Zerg-like race. I'm thinking orcs. I'm thinking orcs, dude. If I do anything, I'm thinking orcs. It's probably too much of a commitment, but yeah, 40k. Yeah, 40 minutes. Yeah, those are great, man. The battle reports or whatever. I don't know why I'm a fan. Switch. We got ourselves already going up with Hawthorne going to be first as a Shadow Priest bailing out of that silence for a moment as Byron's going to be first up of the team on team. Byron's, we'll introduce him later. As Hawthorne looks like Byron's is pushing up into you. Convoke the Spirit, Trinkets out of it, save that silence for a snap, Trinkets interrupt. trying to make sure he could always interrupt the Convoke. He does have defensive cooldowns for the rest of the damage. Trying to go for a Doorway of Shadows into the stun to Byron's Mind Games right after. Byron's, don't heal yourself. Wait, he can't help it. Oh, looks like the heal actually overpowered the Mind Games. Or did it? I think it did. I think that heal might have overpowered the Mind Games, or it ignores Mind Games. Emergency heal. Does it ignore Mind Games? I think the emergency heal, the emergency once you drop below 50% heal, might ignore Mind Games, or maybe he just healed through it so much. He healed, did damage to himself, and went all the way back up. All the way to the moon. It's kind of hard, man. But Hawthorne got himself pretty decent damage. Byron's is still not a great position. Yes, he is still finding himself super low. The dots, dude. The dots are going to be so bad. Regrowth. Oh, no. The seed pod comes out. Hawthorne, are you quick enough to stop it? I don't know if he is. Pedal those little Shadow Priest legs, dude. Pedal those legs. Oh, at this point, he just better expect to just reduel him again. Mind Games is available. Byron's in a bad spot. Can't really heal himself. You got to wait it out a little bit. Heal comes in, damage to himself, but then heals right through it. So it looks like he does do damage to himself at first, but then he just heals right through it, man. Straight to the moon. Void Eruption available for Hawthorne. Man, that seed pod. If only he had more mobility. True Frenzied? Oh, I guess, yeah, if it was True Frenzies. Heart of the Wild Guardian? Is he Heart of the Wilding it? I think isn't it not Bash? I think it's Bash, but maybe I'm wrong. If he is Heart of the Wild, that is quite a lot of self-heals. No, he is Bash, so no Heart of the Wild here. Does get hit with a silence. Try to go for a silence on a Hawthorne with a couple starters to send him away. But Hawthorne still has the advantage here. Got them DPs rolling, so he got himself self-heals as well as the damage with those DPs. Summon to Byron's and should be able to make something happen with a big Mind Games crit. Into a Roar. Byron's is going to just try to get himself some reset behind the pillar. Going to hurt himself at first without regrowth, but then he's going to re-heal. So I think that's what he ends up doing. That first tick of Frenzied probably hurts him, and then he heals after it. Cyclone to Hawthorne as Byron still needs to go for a bit of recovery. Does have a Trinket coming back out. Hawthorne does have a Trinket. That means Byron has Convoke again. If Byron can set himself a big Convoke yet again, Hawthorne might not have an answer for it. And I think the only, essentially the only way you're going to be able to deal with the Convoke to get a full off is to get a silence on Shadow. I think that's the only way you will actually be able to get a full Convoke while his Great Fate is down. Because Greater Fate, I think, is part of the school of Holy. At least part of the Holy School of Casts. But I could be wrong on that one. Stun to Byron's. Hawthorne, does he have the damage? Barskin available with a Shadow Crash doing a bit of damage, but that's going to be a heal for Byron's there. Needs to find a way to interrupt Hawthorne. Does he get it? Did he get the silence? Wait, does he go for the setup? Is that the big Convoke? He did go for Sorcerers, but not the Convoke. Because I feel like you have to get the silence or the interrupt on Shadow so you can disperse. And you got to make sure he doesn't have Greater Fade. And I think what he was trying to do there is he was trying to bash, hopefully force a Trinket out of Hawthorne, and then go for the big damage. But if you interrupt him, you can't Trinket. You know, you can't Trinket and interrupt. The lockout, you can't do that. So then you would be able to interrupt, Convoke, and as long as he doesn't have Greater Fade, he actually does not have an answer. Since he's, you know, locked out on Shadow, where most of his CC and heals are. Trinket coming out off of that Roar. Stun into Byron's. It looks like Hawthorne trying to end the game here. Feeling pretty confident right now. If Byron's can just survive this, he might have a chance at some point. Looks like that, oh, big heals coming out. Looks like he fought through the Mind Games. Not to hurt himself in the confusion or anything. Hawthorne does go for the PI. But looks like there's going to be a lot of his damage cut gone afterwards. Byron's might be able to make a big play here. We just see some kind of a CC chain onto Hawthorne. Does have the silence again. So if you can only just interrupt him in Shadow, there's actually no answer for Hawthorne afterwards. Byron's trying to pull him away from the pillar, and Hawthorne might push up. Byron's, I feel like, has a very solid chance here. Hawthorne just has one ability that can save him. If Byron's plays it right, Hawthorne has one ability that might potentially save him, but looks like he's just waiting out for it. Not gonna push out just yet. Likes that pillar, he likes hanging out by it, but he's not willing to push out just yet. He wants to sit max range. As Byron's trying to make some damage happen, there goes Hawthorne bailing out for a moment. And Byron's needs to be in a really good position, I think, for line of sight in order to make the big damage work. Hawthorne does have the ability that will save him in a tough situation. But we just have to wait and see how these guys play. We are hitting that 5-minute mark. Doorway of Shadows coming out. Stun into Byron's. Hawthorne has a lot of control. That's going to be the big Convoke coming out. No answer for it unless he goes for Greater Fate. Looks like Greater Fate is actually part of the Shadow cast. Looks like it's part of the Shadow School. Or at least it's maybe just part of the interrupt in general. Because it looked like it went on cooldown when he interrupted him. But that Convoke didn't do the damage that Byron's needed it to. That's what I was thinking it was going to do. Interrupt him on Shadow. And hopefully not have Greater Fate to stop the Convoke. and hopefully do enough damage, but looks like it just wasn't enough. Looks like it just was not enough. I was really hoping it would be, because that would have been the big one-shotter play. Bunch of Star Surges in there in a short moment when he can't pop a defensive. But maybe Byron's just gonna have to go for a longer game. But Hawthorne just got so much CC, man. The stuns, the silences, the fears we're after into mind games. It's so good. Star Surge coming out for Byron's, just trying to make some plays, but Hawthorne just continues to put pressure. Byron's does have self-heal, he does have survivability, does create for him some longevity, but eventually I feel like just Hawthorne CC is going to catch up with him. Eventually it's going to be a really bad mind games with a stun silence combo. It's just going to be really, really brutal. And Byron's just taking damage to the face with those mind plays over and over. Does have those emergency heals as the Sharp is going to try to reposition. So it's going to be a rough game. Hawthorne so far has been on a roll here for Byron's. It's definitely going to have to claw out of this one. But I believe it's possible for Boomy to make something happen. It's just lack of CC versus so much CC is just tough. Trying to go for big executes. So Byron's, I think, did kill himself in the Frenzied Regen. With Chill Pill's going to be up next as a Frost Death. That grippy hand coming out. Hawthorne does a PI. Oh! The Shackle Undead! On Lynchboard Shackle Undead! I don't think I've ever seen that before. That makes all the sense though. That makes sense. Oh my goodness. Shilpa's Burst just went out of the window with that one. That was such a good play. That was such an insanely good play. I think Shilpa's was trying to avoid getting feared. And then Shackle just came out of nowhere. Hawthorne. That's monstrous. But looks like Shilpa's has a bit of survivability there. It's tricky coming out for Hawthorne. Shilpa's has no interrupt for this. And it has to back up behind the pillar as the shadow damage just keeps running down. Fleshcap should be able to deal with the dots for a little bit, but for only so long. In the next patch, it will be a lot stronger as a dot denier. But look at that. The shield is already gone. Already gone. Does get interrupted on the Hawthorne, who should be able to maintain himself most likely. Maybe. Trying to maintain the dots of the chill pills. Man, that was a rough one. That was rough. Chilpa's kind of finding himself still super low. Sounds of Chilpa's with mind games right after. He knows he can't go for the death pack here. He is melting down to the dots. It is not looking all that good. He needs to go for that death pack. Does go for a pet sacrifice for the heal as soon as he gets a chance. But it looks like Hawthorne is going to be there harassing with dots against on chill pills. Does have a human ratio for it. And should be able to maybe make some damage happen. Hawthorne's still holding on to big defenses. So that's still a disperse available. Chill pills does go for death pack with an AMS right after. His health is necrotic out for a moment. Grips Hawthorne in. Into an interrupt. Could be maybe some good damage here. Chilpa's still under a lot of pressure. There goes the necrotics falling off, and Hawthorne sneaking in a couple of heals for himself. Transfusion coming out for Chilpa's, trying to make those death strikes work at 21% dampening. They are healing him a little, but only a little. But it is at least some kind of health increase. Might be able to maybe go for a stun to Hawthorne with a Remorseless Winter potentially. Hawthorne taking those takes back to back. Interrupt by Chill Pills. Trying to make the damage happen. IBF is up. That's going to be big damage on the Chill Pills. With mind games, any heals you get for yourself is just gone. And the dots just melt you. Hawthorne, man, who is this guy? Who is this dude? He just came out of nowhere. That Shackle Undead impressed me. I'm not going to lie. That was impressive. It looks like actually I'm missing one on team 2. I think it's only the Boomy and the DK get to play. So 4 people are going to get to play instead of 5. I don't know who left on team Chill Pills, but that's always unfortunate. iFox trying to make some damage happen into Hawthorne as he repositions to the other side of the pillar. Gonna go for a bit of a reheal. The game is in the 9-minute, almost 30-second mark. We are getting towards that 30% dampening. So for Hawthorne and iFox and Remedare, it is going to be quite a bit of heals decrease. For Hawthorne, he still will have a lot of healing. And I think for Remedare, he'll have quite a bit of healing. iFox, he is survival. So unless he can cleanly take off those dots and get himself the manic bandages, banding bandages, as they used to call them. When I was stupid, still am. Then you might be able to get himself some survivability, but those dots are going to rot you over time. Stunned by Hawthorne when the mind gets around the corner. iFox is going to take quite a bit of damage to it from it as DPs are stacking up. The Shadow Crash does land the freeze. Does he go for a clean setup? There's going to be dots. I mean, they're ticking down on you. He does have the Kyrian, so if there's a DP on him... Oh, he doesn't have the Kyrian healing over time. That's a bit unfortunate. Otherwise, so it's just a small heal just once in a while. iFox does get a stun to Hawthorne, trying to reposition to a better pillar, and there goes the Manning Betters. The more of those he can get for this duel, the cleaner it's going to be for him. But look at that, he lacked a healing of those things, dude. At 32% dampening, it already makes it that much harder to heal. Hawthorne recovering as 100 dips into camo. Hawthorne could go for the eyeball if he wants to. He could pick up the eye, but he puts himself away from the pillar where it could be pretty good for him. The Hunter's Mark comes out. Does that intimidate the Shadow Priest? I don't think it does. It looks like he is thinking of picking it up. He's trying to bait in case iFox is right next to him. Does not pick it up. He walked on top of it, but he did not pick it up. That's interesting. iFox is waiting there. He's chilling. And it looks like he threw the grenade, so he didn't have to pick up the thing in the first place. Hawthorne no longer around the pillar, and he kind of needs to get next to the pillar with iFox. And it's going to be traps that he's going to run through, but he's at least going to be able to get close to iFox, maybe get a good angle on him. But as long as he has a pillar, he could always stand next to him, look at that fear. As iFox is going to have to come out from behind the pillar at some point or another. Stun as iFox doesn't really have much to deal with here. Big Void Eruption with a PI. Check us out of that stun into iFox, trying to make some damage happen with that Kyrian Resonant Arrow. Doing a little bit of damage through the wall, and Hawthorne is just turning around, stitching around onto the pet. And the pet actually gets executed there. And that's going to be Shadowfiend not letting iFox get himself a heal, but Pet Revive does come out. That Shadowfiend is just slapping him around, dude. He should be able to get a bit of damage in. Trying to go for a bit of a port. Freezing Trap on one side, most like a Freezing Trap. He's going to have himself Greater Fate so he can just run through all the traps. Just needs to execute. And down he goes with Remendare. Last one left. Switching around his Mog a little bit. I do like the way that Mog looks too. I like the other one, but this one also looks good. Trying to make some play versus Hawthorne. Trying to come out. Looks like the Beastmaster Hunter with the damage actually forcing the defense of the Hawthorne. I feel like it's the first time we've seen a disperse out of him. It looks like he's actually kind of down on the rest of his cooldowns. I think Remendare might be the first one to take down the Shadow Priest. Mind Games does come out. He's going to go for Feign Death, which does remove all those dots, but there's also going to be VT getting removed. Or V... Yeah, Vampire Touch. What am I doing here? Stun onto Hawthorne. The pets are doing damage, but not empowered. But Bestial Wrath does avoid over at Hawthorne. Interrupt him on Shadow. Locking him out. Could be bad for Hawthorne. Does have Greater Fade. Looked like he was rushing at Remendare, maybe for CC. Trying to continue to get himself a little bit of heals here and there. Bestial Wrath is doing quite a bit of damage for Remendare. Whatever damage he can get, those kill shots, skill commands are huge for him. And VT's getting set up by Hawthorne. Does he have the CC? Stun to Remendare? Does he have anything to follow up? He needs CC or damage. There's going to be kill shots coming through and through. Trying to make some damage with Remendare. Freezing Trap stopping down onto Hawthorne. Did send the Feign Death for a second. Interrupt the Shadow. I don't think there's a way to fight that. And Remendare does live it to fight another day. Is it up? Is it Chicago next? Is it Pox? What is it next? Is it Pox? Or is it Chicago? I think it's Pox. It looks like Pox is in the middle. But so is Chicago. That's Chicago's Flesh Captain? I think Remendare is going to be confused. Well, boys, which one of you is playing? Chicago got his CDs. Pox is in the middle. Huh? I guess it's Pox thinks it's his go. Chicago? Okay. I mean, for Remendare, that was just sitting in the camera and waiting and watching. You know what I mean? Man, Remendare though, going for a bit of damage. Pox is going to go for a vantage. Cheap shot onto Pox, trying to make the most damage happen here. He got himself not the one-shot setup. Cheap shot, but looks like he's going to go for a reset himself. And he's going to try to see if he can reposition. Those pets are charging in. Immediately charging in. Looks like he does get himself a re-stealth. Wait, actually clean re-stealth. Not bad, not bad at all. Sap it to Remendare. He does have a trinket for it. Turtle Shell is available. And I think he's rolling double Feroz, not Feroz, the Leech Pet with the Lust. Is that what he's playing? No. Those pets have to be defensive pets because he did use a defensive one before. Freezing Chop on the Pox before he can get the opener. Denied the 100% crit opener for the Rogue. Biting Shot right after. That's going to pets on Pox. Does he get rooted there? Is that root? I think it's rooted. It doesn't look like he has a mark about him. Or maybe not rooted? He didn't have that arrow thing. Maybe a bunch of didn't go through. Those pets are eating you up right now. Fox, you have to make a play. Those pets are doing work. Those kill commands. Are you giving kill commands through the wall? It looked like he was going through the wall. Fox does have to trinket out of it. Remendare is going to disengage out. Super low in health for both of them. Freeze the trap. Fox does break out of it. Kill shot. It looks like Seed Pod comes in. Does Remendare realize the Seed Pod? He does see the pod. Good thing that thing has a health bar now. But if the Spets can maul it, he'll be in a good position. Is it Chicago next? Or is it flexing? It looks like everybody wants to go, dude. Everybody wants to play against this man. It looks like it's possible flexing, I'm guessing. Remendare, though, live lording it now. That was clutch duel with a Rogue, man. Another long duel for the NA, but man, that was a clutch one. Very, very clutch. Flexing, just waiting now for Ravender to get the opener on him. Probably going to go for the eyes. Ravender trying to maintain his pet's heal as best as possible. Does have the pillar at least, so he does have a good starter. Versus Flexing, though, the dot damage move could be pretty tough. Because Ravender basically has dots of his own. Like, his pets are kind of... If you can think of him as like a dot. That just continues doing damage as long as you don't CC it. Right? Those pets versus the dot damage of Flexing, it could be a really rough game. Because I don't really know if anybody's going to... Are they going to go for a burst or are they going to go for a long game here? Flexing getting caught in a binding... I'm swapping the wrong person. Getting caught in a binding shot. One of them is dropping down Resonator Arrow. Actually, it's going to be Ravender since Flexing is Venthyr. As Flexing trying to get some damage in, Ravender popping Turtle early. And Flexing forced to pop a Turtle. Many betters available for him. That's going to be Freeze the Trap on the pet for Ravender. And Flexing is going to get eaten up by those T-Rexes. As they do kind of like collide together into one. Flexing taking a bit of damage. Needs to get the dots rolling into Ravender. Needs to really turn up the damage. So he's actually getting melee. Just trying to see if he can get as much damage onto Ravender. Those pets are going to do work though. The dots versus the pets. Which one of those is going to win? Both of the hunters go for Fade for a second. Flexing setting up. His Flayed Shot should be good damage. Kill shot hits Ravender, but not for as much as it wants to. And Flexing taking so much damage from those pets. Actually popping a freezing trap on one of them. The other pet, though, he is the one that can be killed commanded from. Oh, no! Ravender taking down Flexing. Is he going to go for 1v5 biggest comeback ever? What is going on here? Looks like Chicago's not going to let him happen. He's not going to let it do it. Went over a big Ascendance. Didn't want to give him a chance. Yo, Hawthorne did 1,000,000 damage. What? I guess he did play against a Byron, so he healed a ton, right? Oh my god. 1,000,000 damage. With nice Shackle and Dead play, dude. Yeah, no, 70% damage. For real, dude. I was gonna say. Oh no. That was so good though, man. That was so good. Yeah, sometimes there are long duels that are just like drawn out. And other times there's like so many cool things happening. And I love it. Boom is back? Okay, Boom is back. Are we gonna get Boom versus Night King? Are we gonna throw him versus Chicago this time? Did we throw him versus Night King or Chicago? Because that Shadow Priest was awesome. Chicago's mean? What do you mean? It's a 5v5 duel. Like, there's actually no rule that he has to let him get a reset. You should go in there and you should eliminate the enemy. In a 5v5 duel, there's only one rule. Make sure it's a duel. You don't play until your guy dies. Once your dude is dead, hands off. It's hands on or hands on, whatever you want to do, man. Either way you want to slice it. Some of you guys do it honorable duel. That's cool, man. I love it. But if you're just going in, understandable. Have a nice day. Have a good game. For real, dude. That's part of the rules, man. Best character that way. I want to see MM versus BM. Dude, this BM, though, I think is going to tear MM Hunter up unless you get an opener. He's got an invader in his channel. Also, if you let us go twice, you can destroy that demo. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. Night King, Chicago, which one of you guys are ready? We're going to go Boom into one of you and Boom into another one of you. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to get you guys both to play again. We're going to twice in a row, man. Twice in a row. So Night King, Chicago, which one of you is ready first, man? Because I want to see that Shadow Priest play. I want to see that Beastmaster Hunter play again. I want to see Night King play. Chicago still has a 5-man, so we're going to throw them in. So Chicago mentioned something first. Yeah, Chicago mentioned something first, so we're going to throw Boom versus them. So they do have a Shadow Priest. That guy, I think, is new to the duels. So let's go that. But mostly I'm going to go because he was the first one to mention. And we're going to do like this. Because Night King is next after with Boom. We're going to send him after. Sending you guys right after. So Boom, you're playing twice in a row. If you get switches or people dropping out, just let me know. But Night King, after this one, be ready, dude. We're just going to pop it right in there, man. Pop it right in. Dude, that was some good duels, man. Dude, yesterday EU was really enjoyable duels. And so are these. Did we get a queue? Do we got to redo? Do we got to requeue or redo? As Ravender once said, BM is good in damp. My pets go in. But he's also did pretty good in non-damp. Like, there was a game where they didn't do damp. Hey. Requeue, Pink was dead. Okay, we could requeue. Chicago and Boom. Are you ready for the edition today? Okay, cool. Message in my paladin. Looks like we're gonna be doing more arenas today. What addon is the one that gives you large HP bars? That is like the bars here, like the bars you see here. That's normal Blizzard UI. That's default UI for spectator. Bars above the heads, also Blizzard UI for spectator. That's not an addon at all. I don't actually have any add-ons for that myself, really. Switch. We got ourselves team one with, we got ourselves BYM, or Boom, we'll call him Boom, with Quiddles. We got ourselves also Steve Arcade out in the back, mishmash of a mog, with Zkala as a survival, and Soul Paw as a feral versus team two. We got people missing, but hopefully they'll be getting in here soon. Chicago, we got ourselves Hawthorne, we got Drennan, and Wargren. Wargren hasn't got to play at all. So hopefully the fifth gets in here, but I think we'll still keep the game rolling, you know what I mean? It looks like Soul is going to be first up as a feral. And I think they're still trying to figure out who's going first or last. Hopefully whoever the fifth is, if they're DC'd, hopefully they get in. Looks like Drennan is going to be first up, and Drennan is 3, okay. Drennan is enhancement, looking for Soul, going to be an opener by the feral, playing that Necrolord, actually goes in for a late trinket, walling this damage off of Soul, just going in with a massive bites and dammies. Is going to be popping out the Earth Elemental, Sundering for a second. Soul still on the prowl, still staying on Drennan. Then it's going to be Counter Strike Totem, doing damage back to Soul, does eliminate it, but there comes the Ascendance with wall for Soul. Bash to follow up with bites back to back, normal wall available, and looks like Soul is actually going to back up while the Ascendance is up. Drennan is going to get a lot of self-healing for this. Lots of self-heals available. He's just trying to make himself a setup. But looks like Ascendance is down. Looks like Bloodlust available if he needs to convoke him, and now there's no answer unless he goes for interrupt. Big bite at the end of the convoke. It looks like Soul did get the convoke to at least build him combo points and maybe get one free bite off that. Hawthorne, the Shadow Priest, is going to be up next. He just had himself a hell of a game earlier, so we'll see how he ends up doing after this one. Soul just kind of chilling. It's going to be a stun by the feral, trying to go for the big bites here in the opener. The Colossi Squishy Priest is going to take a lot of damage, and those bleeds are going to just tear right through him. No armor for him to really maintain himself. Does get interrupted on Shadow, or does he? It looked like he got interrupted on Shadow. Mind Game's coming out right after. Big damage. Oh my goodness. That's Shadow Priest damage. Whoa. That was a lot. That was a lot of damn. It was like a Mind Games into a Mind Blast death, I think. Jesus, in a single stun too. Damn. What is this guy? How is he doing these things? How is the Shadow Priest doing these things? This man right here is like a Shadow Priest god or something. There's gonna be an interrupt by Quiddles. You just watch this Shadow Priest just tearing the team apart. Quiddles, are you a Necrolord? You got them back pieces like your Necrolord monk. Are you a Necrolord monk? I've heard curing monks might not be that good after all the changes coming out in 905. Bug fixes, but it does make the curing a little less strong. Maybe, potentially. Scythe, I really don't know. Looks like Hawthorne actually taking lots of damage. Disperse coming out. Squiddles does have a lot of damage. Zoom in. Still just rocking it before 905 comes out. As a 5% damage loss is expected by monks in general. With a, not even a touch of death, I don't think. I think it might have been not a touch of death. I guess a 50k bite and a 40k feral. That is a lot of damage, man. That was a lot of damage there, wasn't it? Chicago going to be up next. Trying to make some damage happen. He's going to get Ascendance. I don't think you actually get parried on Wind Strikes, do you? Quiddle's still holding on to a Karma. Might need to use it against Chicago's big Ascendance damage. As long as this Wind Strikes are coming out, but he's not going to have the Venthyr Wombo combo. He's going to have the Necrolord big zaps available. Hopefully, potentially big Elemental Blast coming out right there. But looks like Quiddles does have plenty of self-heals in order to deal with it for the time being. I keep swapping ropers. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Is it Chicago 2? Chicago's 1. Okay, Chicago's 1. Those guys 2. I'm so sorry. I'm probably giving somebody like whiplash going back and forth, back and forth. I don't try to do it on purpose. 1, right? Yes, it is. Okay. I literally forgot a second ago. Sundering does not break the Fist of Fury. I don't know if it's supposed to. I do wonder if it's supposed to. Quiddles does hit him with a root. But going for that monk hamstring. Second time you hit him while enemy is slowed, you will root him to reposition a little bit, catch up on a little bit of heals. So is Quiddles Kyrian or is he actually a Necrolord? I think he is actually hidden Kyrian. Has popcorn while he's throwing out Fists and Furies at Chicago. He's not really looking all that good right now. Needs himself a lot of health recovery. Hex doesn't come out. In cap by Quiddles. Has Chicago super low. Does he go for the touch of death? Hex still trying to come out. No interrupt. Death get out of it. Does he continue the damage? Looks like Chicago is going to hit him with a Sunder. Looking to run. Quiddles not letting him out of his sight at all. Fleshcraft trying to channel into the Fist of Fury. Does actually absorb a lot of the Fist of Fury damage there. And Chicago does a wall back up. Ghost will be very soon. Zuen is back up for Quiddles. That could be really bad for Chicago right now. As a dipping down super low in health. Does hang out wall. Wall gonna use very late though. But still, at least it was a defensive use. Wargren is gonna be up next. Is he playing Beast Mastery? Oh no, you didn't watch Revan there? Or is he actually making that switch? Because apparently some hunters are making the switch to BM in PvP. Apparently some hunters are making that switch in PvP. Fleshcraft available for Quiddles. A Wargren is gonna go for an interrupt onto the Fleshcraft. So he is Fleshcrafting. You are a Necrolord. Dude, I think this man is preparing for... That looks so funny when you got popcorn and you got Fist of Fury. So you just got like one hand punching, the other hand eating popcorn. It looks like Quiddles actually took down Wargren as a Necrolord monk. He actually got 3 kills. 420. Well, I'll be damned. I do love that try with the popcorn though in Fist of Fury. I think it's the most funniest thing I've ever seen. You got popcorn in one hand, punch it with the other. It's actually so good. Do you want to do the next duel, Destro or Demo? You can pick. Let's do that again. Would you have the roll? Where's my wheel? The wheel picker. Okay, so it's like a clean 50-50. Demonology! Demo! I like the music. It's so loud though. Demo! Okay, Demo. Cool. Alrighty, Chicago. No, Night King, are you ready? Night King, if you're good to go, we're ready. Night King, if you're good to go, we are ready, my man. Here we go. Sorry, you only had 4 Chicago. Hopefully, whoever the person. Wait, almost forgot to spell Night King completely. Okay, cool. Awesome. Hopefully it works. But yo, Chicago, sorry you had a 5th missing, man. I don't know if they DC'd or what happened, but that's a bummer, man. I always like to get groups when it's like full 5s, man. When you're missing one, I always feel bad because it's like, man, if they got DC'd, like they just got screwed over. Or maybe if something happened and they couldn't join, and it's like, it just makes you feel bad, like, man, they're missing out. You know what I mean? Because I want to give as many of you guys the opportunity to duel. Yeah, that's the tournament UI for the duels. When you do the invite spectator match, although they do have a modified version on the actual tournament realm, where they have actually a extra health bar at the bottom for whoever they're targeting, target of that target, and their abilities they're using too, like with Trophy GCD. I don't know if that's baked into the Blizzard UI or whatnot, but it looks clean, dude. I wish we had that. I wish we had that, but we don't. Do we gotta go again? Do we go again? We go again. We queue again. We queue. We play. Dalaran Sewers. I like that arena. I feel like I never really get to play in Dalaran Sewers. I get to play there a handful of times. Oh, God. Almost spilled the drink. Alright, boys. Demonology, boom. So I actually got messed up by Demonology the other day. They're hard, man. I mean, I did more damage than they did, but the CC with the Holy Priest is tough. You just get to the point where you have no cooldowns and they just continue on, dude. They continue trucking. I felt like I was doing great damage as long as he doesn't run. And I actually was doing more damage for the arena, but it only takes one setup and me not having anything for it. And it's over. Also stuns, crazy amount. Switch. We got ourselves Team 1 together with Soul. We got ourselves Zikala. We got ourselves Seavark as a mage. We got ourselves Boom. And we got ourselves Quiddles as a Necrolord Monk. Yes, he actually is Necrolord Monk. We got ourselves iFox and the other team of Survival Chilpas. The Frost DK. Pushing up his Mog a little bit. All red looking. Byron's as a Boomy. We got ourselves Revendare as a Beastmaster Hunter. Gonna go for a... I was gonna say a Flight. And Peachy as a Feral this time. Necrolord Feral, that's gonna look really interesting. That's gonna be Chilpas going for Zikala, who's playing that Necrolord Survival Hunter. Chilpas taking a bit of damage from Survival Hunter, though. It's gonna hit him with a stun, trying to make those big obliterates work, but looks like he's gonna have to turn the attention to the Slime Pet. Trying to see if he can take out the Slime Pet pretty quickly. Fleshcraft right after. In case Zikala gets some damage rolling, he might as well go for Fleshcraft of his own. Can't even hit the guy anyway. No Frost Mages? We have some Frost Mages on the EU, but I think Seavark is Arcane. Pretty sure he's Arcane. Zikala getting blasted with lots of frosty damage from the dragon. It's going to go for a self-heal himself, but that's going to be mostly out of cooldowns at this point. And Chilpas actually, he does have Frost Presence Aura, so the Presence Aura does actually put extra CD on a lot of his defensives. It does put a CD extra on defenses, like Acceleration becomes 3-minute cooldown, Turtle becomes a 4-minute cooldown as long as the Death Knight is nearby. Does get the stun as the freeze comes out, so he's gonna have Zikala nearby, at least taking a little bit of that damage. Not gonna have enough time in order to get himself a full manning advantage, and just gonna be Chilpas putting big pressure onto Zikala. Has the Necrolord ability rolling. That's actually doing quite a bit of damage to Chilpas. Did some of the pet to sacrifice it and obliterate, slamming down the Survival Hunter with Boom. Gonna be up next as the Demonology Warlock going for a port with a Reflect in case Chilpas goes for a grip or an interrupt. Is going to get a stun. Maybe a Tyrant. Looks like the early Tyrant comes out as the pets are up. Chilpas is going to go for the line inside of the Tyrant. The pets themselves are also going to do a lot of work. The Vile Fiend joins the fight as well. And as long as he can avoid the cast from Tyrant, he'll be okay. But even those pets are doing work. So Death Strikes do come out. He's going to get a grip of the Boom, but does use the Soul Shape in order to get out of there. And Chilpas just kind of stuck back there with the pets, having to track a long way towards Boom. He's going to have a legendary that does shift between empowering the pet's damage and his damage back and forth. So his main Felguard is going to do a lot of damage this duel if he can get a lot of procs for it. And Chilpas goes in for a lot of self-heals, actually find himself a lot of rooting power to get a bunch of Death Strikes. Not the biggest heal ever, but whatever heal you can get in this kind of a duel, in this kind of a situation, anything helps at this point. Boom is under a bit of pressure, but Mortal Coil should send Chilpas running in the other direction. I don't think he has a way to deal with Mortal Coil. He does put Relentless this duel, though, which I think is might actually put Relentless every other duel, but the Mortal Coil just doesn't last as long. Trying to get a Vile Fiend off, but also trying to get interrupted. Chilpas does have Pillar of Frost rolling, so it's going to be Boom going for a port. Is going to get himself another Vile Fiend running. That Vile Fiend damage is also pretty good, like the autos, but also the empowerment for your Tyrant. That's like the biggest damage for it. The biggest value, because the Vile Fiend is, I think, same health as a Tyrant, so it's like not a Tyrant, but the same health as a Felguard, like the Summon Felguard, unless I'm wrong on that one. Stun to Boom. Basically what I'm saying is the Vile Fiend just does so much to empower your Tyrant. Vile Fiend itself is pretty good, but it makes your Tyrant even better. Mortal Coil available, or I mean Lynchborn available for Chilpas, trying to live through the fears. Boom, under a lot of pressure, does get a stun from his pet. Does not have a Mortal Coil. Does he have any mobility? He can run around the box. He does have a port available if you can get away from Chilpas. Chilpas does summon up a whole new pet. Has it ready to sacrifice if ever needed. This is going to be in a decent spot. The pet actually goes for a stun. That has been taken out of next patch, 9.5. The pet will no longer do a stun for Frost Death Knights and Blood DKs, which I guess will not DR your pet or your stuns when you don't need them. Boom, though, taking a lot of pressure. That Frosty Howling Blast at the end was just going to do a lot of work. Is going to break out with a human racial against Soul. As the damage comes out, Thorns are up. Soul's just going in for big damage. Everything being popped here. Barkskin is getting used right now as Chilpas trying to survive the stun to Soul, not shrinking out of this just yet. Gonna wait it out a little bit. Chilpas is bled up quite a bit though. He's hemorrhaging right now. Not good of a situation. Soul does get another reset. Super good for him. And Chilpas does have CDs coming back. This is going to be at least a lot of runic power to get back. So that's Death Strikes for days. Does have himself Death Pact as well. Does necrotic a portion of his health, but you can stay away from Soul until that health necrotic is gone. He might be okay. It looks like he's actually trying to get some offensive damage onto Soul himself. He's trying to chase after the cat. I feel like this is where Soul would want to kind of leap in on him because he is necrotic out. Fleshcraft coming in. Does go for an interrupt of Fleshcraft. I don't think he had the CC immunity Fleshcraft, but I could be wrong on that one. He's going to get a stun to Soul. Could be really bad. Chupas does have Pillar of Frost available. It's going to be tricky. Maim on Chupas. Convoke coming out. Going to be an interrupt, but still the dots come in. The bites come in. And the Death Knight Overlord gets taken down by a cat. But actually not a bad cat at all. A quick cat. A fast cat. It's going to be 5 minutes into the duel, 1% dampener. I mean, Chupa's fought tooth and nail, dude. The amount of healing the Death Knights have is just non-existent. So I guess the pressure of the bleeds and the bites from Soul, that's actually so good. He fought as well as he could, man. That's a tough one. I mean, he went through Boom. He went through Survival Hunter too, so that's 2 people. And without it, because it's cooldowns. Like, I feel like if he came in with every single CD, I feel like it would have been a different story. Soul getting hit with a stun. It's going to be iFox with a Kyrian Resonant Arrow, making a bit of damage happen. Soul having to pop a wall here is going to have to look for a self-heal. And iFox is doing a bunch of damage to Soul right now. He does create some line of sight, though, charging in with the Cheetah. But looks like Soul is going to go for them roots and try to bail out of there. Is Soul playing Bash, or is he playing a Mass Entangle this round? I feel like... Was that a Mass Entangle? Because I know he rooted the pet. A pet is rooted over there somewhere. There he goes. A pet... Well, weird pathing for that pet, dude. He went a long way for some reason. Medic Bed is available for Fox. Scarab Beast, Soul does shape shift out of it. I almost want to call him Paul for some reason. Even though the name Soul's right there. Nice harpoon by iFox. Actually, kind of like switch places. I don't think he was trying to do that, but he did get away from the Feral. Does go for the root. Looks like Soul is going to deal some damage to the pet. Trying to get the pet to attack him. As long as he can put the bleeds on the pet, that'll be a Master's Call out if he's playing Master's Call, which I think he is with the Raptor. But also that's Sack, not available either. So for Soul, this could be pretty good if he can take the pet down. Freezer Trap coming in as the main comes out. Did he have a Convoke for that one? That was a nice switcheroo. Again, iFox went for 2 switcheroos now. Trying to go for a Scarab Beast under the paw. Looks like the Scarab Beast goes through. And it doesn't really do... I guess it does a little bit. Scarab Beast does do a little bit for the Hunter. I think if you're trying to CC... Or maybe if you're trying to get some dots rolling. Trick it 4. They Convoke. Turtle comes out. Looks like he maybe didn't have an interrupt. He did have an interrupt. But maybe just panic. It looked like the pet is going to get taken now. It did burn it. Turtle. And might as well resummon the pet. And Soul is going to make sure he has some hots rolling on himself. Just chilling for now. iFox sitting at a roughly half-ish health. Should be pretty good with those many bandages. But if Soul can interrupt that many bandage maybe with Moonfire, he'll be in a really good spot. Camo. It looks like it's going to be reset for the both of them. We are at that 7 minute, no, almost 8 minutes into this duel, boys. 15% dampening is up, so the heal reduction is going to be up there. So 10k bites, and when Chill can survive that, dude, those bites hurt. Those bites really hurt. Random Freezer Trap gets Soul out, but looks like he's charging at iFox. Hits him with a maim, trying to make a bunch of damage happen. Big bites coming in. That's going to be Thorns available as well. And that's going to be Menace available for iFox, but I don't really know if it's going to be enough here. He's still under a lot of pressure. Bark's going to be available for Soul, still has Thorns up. That's going to be iFox actually charging in. Soul tried to Soul Shape out of that. Looks like he's just going to go for a full line of sight. Try to cut him out. iFox has himself a good position so far. Does have a 100's mark on Soul, will now be able to reset. Still landing that re-stun though either way. Does he go for the big bite here? He just needs one more. Feign Death into a trap. Does get himself acceleration. Does go for those manic bandages. Soul is just always so close to taking down iFox. Power shifts out of it immediately. Good power shifting out of that one to try to prevent the fear. That's going to be iFox under a lot of pressure again. Feign Death coming out. Needs himself another freezing trap soon. Thorns available. Soul does pop a wall here, though. That is a pretty big defensive. Turn it around onto the pet instead. Trying to put some bleeds on that thing. But iFox, I think he's waiting for that freezing trap that whole time. Manic Bandage. I don't know if he had the dots available on him. Looks like there was a buy that still went through, though. And iFox, I think, is down for the count with Soul. Who's going up next? It's going to be Byron's the Boomy. With that, well, he does have a trinket, so I was going to say without a trinket, this could be really bad for the Convoke. Because the Boomy Convoke is going to be mean. That's going to be a maim. Forcing a trinket out of Byron's. And Byron's did not trust in the Thorns. He probably thought, you know what? I'm gone. I'm a goner. I would have probably trusted because he do get himself a Frenzy Region at that point. But that does force out a trinket out of Soul. Convoke coming down. He's actually going to give him a taste of his own medicine. Does not die completely. The Barksy does keep him alive. And that's going to be a short maimment to Byron's just to disrupt the Convoke. And Byron's is F3. Okay. That'll be easier for me to switch around back and forth. Byron's though pushing in, still has incarnation. That's a lot of damage from the Star Surges. Silence in case Soul tries to go for a heal, and Soul does go for the line of sight immediately. Needs to get himself recovery, standing on his feet as best as he can, not finishing the regrowth, trying to just stay away from Byron's, letting those healing over time with Rejuve do work. And I'm guessing he's got Rejuve, right? I'm guessing he's got Rejuve. Yeah, so that's Swipman right there. So you're just letting the healing over time just do work by itself. Byron's though, try to see if you can get to Soul Paw. Actually just staying in cat form, just trying to see if you can catch up to him. Thorns available for Soul, not much you can really do with Byron's. That's going to be a nice short stun into a bite. Try to see if you might be able to create pressure onto Byron's. Byron's does get himself into an Eclipse. Bash into Soul Paw, into a Cyclone. Does not have a ticket for it, so Byron's is going to get himself some recovery. We are at that 10-minute mark, boys, though. 33% dampening. So the healing is going to be heavily reduced. Soul actually got himself a restyle there in between them. So that's going to be nice open onto Byron's, putting up a big bleed on him. And Byron's having to go for regrows. That Skull Bash, though, could maybe have enough pressure. Does he have enough pressure? Bark's going to go for Byron's. That's going to be the big self-heal, where Soul is trying to chase him away with them bites. But I don't know if he'll be able to do it enough. Byron's, does he have cooldowns coming in? Thorns are available, and Soul is going to be a little bit careful here. He's going to be a tad careful. Just going to go for a bit of a reset. Does not get himself a re-stealth, but at least a bit of a reset away from Byron's. Get some cooldowns back. There was his Berserk available. It was his Berserk used for that fight. Probably has a Convoke coming in by now, because Byron's has the Trinket back up, and you try to Convoke during the Trinket. Most likely, oh, no, not actually get a Trinket out of Byron's without having to press Convoke. So that's pretty big damage either way. So Byron's next maim, next bash that's no DR, that Convoke is going to go full. It's going to be full send. Trinket for Soul, taking him out without having to use Convoke. Has Convoke save for whoever is up next after this. And Byron's, does he stay alive in the pot? Looks like he does not. Looks like it's going to be Peachy or Revendare up next. And Peachy, as per usual, just kind of catatonically staring at a wall. He always does that. I don't know what's going on. I hope he's okay. Next is going to be Revendare, the Beast Mastery Hunter. Now, this could be the fight of the century for Soul. No Trinket either, so that's going to be really bad for him. But it's going to get the pets and the hunter out. Biting shot coming in. Looks like he's not going to get hit in the biting shot. The pets are getting Bestial Wrath and empowered. Soul better be in a good... Actually, no. Bestial Wrath hasn't come in yet. There it goes. Convoke the Spirits coming out. Trying to see if he can take it out. The pets, by the looks of it, is going to get interrupted on this. He's kind of backpedaling, shuffling away. Need himself as much healing as he can. 44% dampener. Stunner to Soul with Barks. And I think Revendare might still have him either way, though. That's just so much consistent damage. Does get himself a heal at the last second. Trying to see if he can Soul Shape out of it. The pets are rooted. Wait, is he past to play Mass Entangle? I think he is Mass Entangle for the pets. He adjusted his strategy in case he ends up fighting Revendare. I think that's the play. Mass Entangle the pets, so at least you can get away from them. And no more Hunter's Mark on him, so he actually gets a full reset, which is not bad at all. And Revendare, I guess he's either going to have to wait for one of the eyes to be up. Are either of the eyes up? Looks like none of them are up. But he is going to need to send the pets over at Soul immediately and try to see if he can flare him out. Just gotta have to roll the dice with his flares, see where they go. This is a Beastmaster Hunter, though. They surprisingly have a lot of damage. A lot of sustained pressure. Not really bursty, but sustained is crazy. That is a lot, man. What's up, Lewis? How you doing, fam? Hope you have a good one. Soul sneaking in from around the corner of the pillar. Does get the damage to the Revendare. That's gonna stun with the pets. He knows that there's traps available right after. And he's gonna throw down the Kyrian Resonant Arrow. He wants to have Soul walk through all the traps, but Soul's gonna tuck tail and run, get the hell out of there, as the pets are going to get hit with a root. Mass Root is actually working out for Soul pretty well here. He's playing that Soul Root aggressively. He sees the pets popping cooldowns. He's like, okay, let's get him out of there. Let's get him all out of there. Might need to go for a bit of a reheal, as he's not going to be able to get himself a proper re-stealth. Revendare, they're jumping down for him. Soul, can he get himself a setup? Trick is still available for Revendare, if anything. Trying to get the big old bites onto the Hunter. Void Operation is getting activated. Taking a few bites back to back, though. That is a lot of damage. The custom shot does slow him down quite a bit. Soul Shape is there to get the mobility. Does back out. Knows there's traps still nearby. Trying to avoid that corner of the traps. Looks like maybe the traps are gone. He knows there's going to be a trap coming out soon, though. Revendare does have to pop a turtle. Did get away from the pets quite a bit. I think Soul might have rooted the pets behind the pillar that went after Revendare. Revendare was probably expecting for the... Both of the pets die with Convoke coming out. Whoa, my goodness. The pets melted. And I think the Hunter just had nothing left there. Oh, no. Oh no! Looks like Peachy's the last one left. And Peachy's feral this time. So this could be a more even game. Peachy, my man, it's you! You're back. You're in. Just walking out as a tree. This tree forming out of there. Drawing his weapons, dude. He's ready to brawl, man. This guy's ready to brawl. He's going in there. He's gonna pop in the cat from. Neither of them gonna catch a resell for anything. Thorns available for solo very, very early. Are the blades gonna go well for Peachy being Necrolord? I wonder. I know that the heal is going to be pretty good with Friends of Regen. 60% dampening though, so it's going to be kind of rough. He's going to pop back in the cat form. Try to see if he can turn the damage on Chichen. Back with the Soul. Soul's popping in Wall. Peachy did use renewal there earlier. Wall might need to come out here. Bear form available. Needs himself a big heal. Does he go down here? Roar to Soul for a second. Bash on the Soul. Trinket available if he needs to. I think Peachy just has him. Maybe Peachy was thinking, you know what? Maybe I'm lagging. Maybe there's too much dampening. One or the other. One or the other, but Soul comes out with a 1v5. That one of them was a seed pod, but still should count towards him. Big old 1v5 for your boy. So I could roll for Valheim from the game. Wow, days pass for Valheim. Valheim is a good game, Michael. Me and my guild just beat it though in like a week. I don't really know what else to do. Need more content, you know what I mean? The bosses weren't all that difficult. They were kind of fun, but it's like they weren't difficult, right? It's a fun game though. But after you kill the boss, there's nothing else to do. That's my biggest issue with it. Give up a rogue. Belly sneak. Alright, that sounds good. Yo, that was a pretty good setup. Are we still there if there's another match? We could maybe do it. We could maybe do it. Do we have any more groups? Because this would be the time to end it. But if you guys want to do one more, man, I'm down. Because Boom so far hasn't really got to play. We could throw him back versus Chicago. Because Chicago never really got to play like a full game. Because they had like, what? Not enough people. USSL. Yo, can we link Soul's stream again real quick, boys? Can we link Soul's stream real quick again? You can watch that from his POV, dude. There he is, man. There he is. That's the Pharaoh that just played. That's the Pharaoh that just played. Chicago got 5. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we'll go Boom and we'll go Chicago since most of Boom's team didn't really get a chance to play. So I think kind of stole a lot of the show. And we'll get Chicago back in there again so Chicago has a chance. The Chicago's team didn't really get the 5 men to play. I learned. You did really good. You did really, really good. He has the intellect gear on. Oh, what did he? Okay. Alrighty. My healer gear got stuck and you let me swap. Rip. That's unfortunate, man. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because I feel like, because I knew something was wrong there. So I guess technically that duel is a 1v4, not a 1v5. Because Peachy did have intellect gear on. I guess he did have main hand offhand. I should have known with the main hand offhand. I didn't realize with the main hand offhand. Oh no. Okay, that can count as a 1v5. It's really, is that my man Swiss? Is that my man Squizgar, dude? Oh my god. Is that my man Squiz, dude? Oh my god. Oh, you kidding me, bro? Come on, bro. My man Squiz popping in the duels, dude. What are you doing over here? Twitch. Is that my man Squiz? Oh, where are you? Where are you? Which one are you? Which one are you? Is that you? Oh my god. You're a Worgen. You're an Alliance. You got your quarter creeper. Nice. Nice. That's awesome. Wait, are you Boomy? No, you're Feral. You're Feral. You just gotta Boomy your weapon. Nice. This is my man right here, dude. My man right here. Squizgar himself. Was a Death Knight for as long as I remember. But now he's on Alliance and playing Feral. It looks good, man. Wait, is your blind eye the one that doesn't have the eye patch on it? I guess you won't be able to show off the blind eye. It's going to be flexing up first, actually, versus Zakala throwing down them nades. It's going to get the flate shot rolling. That's going to be survival. And Flexi got more dots than Zakala with that flate shot. There's going to be also kill shots that you can do from time to time. But Zakala, I think, is playing that Necrolord, so he can also do, I guess, a little bit of kite strats too. Sorta, kinda, sorta, maybe. Zakala is going to go for a bit of a... I'm swapping the wrong person. Zakala is going to go for a bit of a heal. That's a big steel trap, by the way. Why does that thing look so massive? Freezing trap does hit him. And Flexi should be able to maybe sneak around the corner, get the dots up and running. Is going to disengage out in the open, getting those dots exchanged with Zakala. Needs to get more nades, needs to get the dots rolling. Swapped the wrong person again. I'm so sorry. I'm still trying to figure out which one is which. Zakala and Flexing are tussling. Flexing falling behind a little bit on health, but it doesn't really mean much this early in the duel. especially against the survival hunters, is going to harpoon with a freezing trap, guarantee, trapping down Zakala, throwing down steel trap, and most likely actually popping in the camo. Looks like he's going to go for a bit of a reset. He's not going to commit too many cooldowns, defensively or offensively. He's actually just going to go for a camo, get himself a bit of a reset, let Zakala go for a reset as well, and kind of just go for a bit of a reset. Otherwise, he's going to be chilling. Otherwise, he's going to be chilling. And Zakala is going to go for a camera of their own as well. Might as well. No point of getting opened up by flexing. No point of giving him the opener. But flexing is going to pick up the eye. Should be able to see the pet onto Zakala. Is going to get the dots up and running. Going for the line of sight immediately. Getting the stun early. Zakala harpoons after him. And is going to try to root him, slow him down out in the open. Exchanging the dots. Harpooning to him. Getting hit with the stun of his own. Pet sack coming out. This is going to be the Necro Lord ability. Slashing and dashing, add flexing. Both of them are just tussling. I normally don't see survival hunters actually tussling out like this in melee in the open. Flash capture for Zakala. That flash is going to be so much stronger in the next patch, dude. So much stronger. Freezing trap onto Zakala as they're harpooning in, trying to get some damage rolling. Flexing just going to try to see if he can stop it, preventing it. Almost got the Scare Beast out, but that's going to be a muzzle by Zakala. Quick in the draw. Even though you normally don't expect to kick anything from a hunter, he does have it bound, ready at his fingertips. Flexing try to exchange some dots onto flexing onto Zakala. Medic bandages are available. Zakala should be able to do some of the medic bandages, but the pet is going to interrupt them. It looks like the Feint Death did remove the... Does Feint Death remove Blade Shot? That's a little unfortunate if it does. A little unfortunate if it does. Flexing going to take a bit of that damage with them nades and the dots. That Chakram is going to do like 15% more damage next patch, so it's going to be deadlier. But Zakala has him basically in like kill shot range. Is going to fear the pet. Zakala trying to make that kill shot happen. The nades are getting thrown out. And flexing is not in a great spot right now, actually. I think Zakala actually has gotten the better of him, trying to rescare bees. Zakala trying to go for the kill shot. Pet is running away. Maybe the dots are still on him. Flexing, does he have anything? He does go down to the dots. Actually, I think the pet came out of the fear and attacked him immediately. Might have been that. That's going to be Wargren up next. Coming in as Survival Hunter of his own as well. Kieran coming in with a stun to Zakala. Has the full damage setup. I guess Zakala should be in a really good position here. And Zakala with a kill shot coming out. Very, very sad. I think it's over. Wargren just got a really good upper hand on him. Really good positional. That Necro thing does a little bit of damage. It gives some damage even after you die, but 50% buff to it, I think it's going to be kind of nutty. On that team, we also got Soul Paw up next. Oh, Soul is 5 now. Oh, God. I'm going to have to switch around. Freezing Trap available for Wargren. Dustin with a stun, but that trinkets out of the Freezing Trap. Actually, ballsy move while available. Wargren is going to have to go most likely for a turtle at this point, unless he can somehow stave off Soul Paw without having to pop a turtle. He might be okay. Throwing a trap down, thinking Soul's going to go one direction. Kind of missed him. Convoke him on, but did hit him with a muzzle pretty early here. I think it was maybe trying to surprise him with a random Convoke. That's good. We're going to actually get in gripped over to the Ursos. Caught a camo somehow. Huh? How'd you catch a camo? What? Wait, he actually caught a camo. That was so weird. He actually did. I don't understand. I don't understand. He's gonna have himself the spear, the Bastion, the Kyrian shot available. What is it called again? It's not Spear Bastion. Resonating Shot, maybe. No. Is it Resonating Shot? It might be Resonating Shot. Why did I forget it? Out of all the spells to forget right now. The one we see hunters use all the time in PvP. The Kyrian one. How did I forget it? Looks like the pet is going to be taken down. Does he get the interrupt onto Revive Pet? Ew, Freezing Trap sitting right next to him. He did have an interrupt. I wonder if he would have interrupted. That might have been the play. But someone's going to have to play this a little bit of a longer game with Wargren getting the pet back up. It's going to be that CC. Or it's going to be that CC with a stun. But also it's going to be that defensive utility with the pet as well. Whether you go for Master's Call or you go for a pet sack. It looks like Soul is going to have to hang out with the pet. Wargren is sitting the pet in and then backing it out immediately. Does get the dots of the Soul Paw. Who's going to have to cleanse himself. Might be able to get himself a reset. Wargren is going to have to go for an interesting flare in there. We're going to try to get him out. Does go for this Shadow Bastion. We'll call him Shadow Bastion, boys. We'll call it Shadow Bastion just to make it easier. And Soul Paw, try to see if you can just not walk into the Kyrian zone. Try not to get hit with a line of sight. We're getting hanging out by one of the traps. He knows it's going to be a trap to stop Soul. Has a trinket. Could use it. Not going to go for it. Might need it for later. For maybe a stun or a freezing trap as he's about to score the kill. And so it's just gonna get stuck out in the open. Not much you can really do against Survival Hunter, who's got you under full complete control. Big ol' buy by Soul. But it looks like Worgen is going to bail out of that. Trick gets out of that stun, and Worgen maybe setting himself for a freezing trap later. Does get the interrupt onto the Convoke. Probably give at least some components to Soul. If anything, he's going to have Thorns available. Try to get away from the Feral ASAP. Just waiting for the seconds until the freezing trap is available. And is going to go for a Manic Bandage right after. Soul stuck out in the open. Big kill available for Worgen. Has the Hunter's Mark on him. And Worgen is going to get himself quite a bit of recovery. Is going to go for the Steel Trap. Does get Soul caught in it. And Soul might need to go for eyes. Potentially, maybe. It looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Worgen looks like he's going to go for a long-term game. I think he might go into the dampening and then try to see if he can take Soul out. Because so far he hasn't really been able to make the Bastion spell. Resonant Shot? I think it's Resonant Shot. Honestly, I should look it up, dude. I know it's going to drive me insane until I do. I literally have a wiki of covenant abilities. Mostly for the thumbnails, but... Resonant Arrow. It is Resonant Arrow. I think I'll start calling it Resonant Shot. And also, the rogue ability is called Echo and Reprimand. For some reason, I called it Resonating Strike or Resonant Reprimand. I don't know why. I don't know why. Why do you do that to yourself? Gonna be a maim onto Worgen. If only you had a Convoke for this one. But still gonna have pretty big buys. Thorns is available. Freezing Trap is gonna stop in place for a second. Manic Bandages off of that Feign Death. Trying to make sure he gets himself a full, clean Manic Bandage off here. It's gonna be knockback into Soul. Leaps right in onto Worgen. Is gonna hit him with a restun there. It looks like the Explosive Trap does not put you in combat. Or not directly. Stops you from stealthing. I guess the best way to put it. But it's going to be Worgen. I think he's waiting for yet another freezing trap. If Soul can just get the massive bleeds on him, he'll be in a good spot. Manic Bandage just removes all those. Just removes them. I feel like maybe maintaining a Moonfire into Worgen might be the play too. He does have a Feign Death for it, but at least you're making him burn Feign Death with it too. Resonant Arrow getting set up. Soul just bailing out of there. Finally, Worgen goes away. Gets away from his hiding spot from the pillar. Stun onto Soul. He does have Barskian Thorns available. Trick gets out of that. Into a stun. Convoke onto Worgen, but he does have a trinket for it. Freezing Trap onto Soul. Does have the control yet again. And Worgen actually sped us down. Worgen by himself in a camo. Soul picking up the eye immediately ASAP as we were hitting that 9-minute mark. But he's trying to go for a pet resummon. 24% dampening. Does Soul see him? He does have the eyes, but he doesn't have the health bar above his head. He doesn't see exactly where Worgen is at, but by now he would have figured it out. By now he would know. Worgen really trying to make this game go for quite a while, but I think he's mostly just trying to wait until he gets himself in a really good position. In a really good position. And that's going to be an opener by Soul. How do you see him even through camo? Was the eye still up? There's no way. No way. We just saw him. Maybe we just saw him stealthing around and just decided to leap. That's going to be Worgen getting again. Yet another reset on him. The long haul game, dude. He has a trigger for every one of those Convokes. So Soul, I guess you can't really trust that Convoke to finish the job off. You will have to go for the bleeds. And he kind of dots. Worgen does have Brawn joining the fight. And actually, if Worgen is running Brawn, does he run the thing where when he gets stunned, he gets a stun back to the enemy? Big damage to the Soul right now with the Brawn also beating up on him. There's a whole dinosaur, a wolf, and a mech beating up a cat. With the Scarab Beast, not going to be able to get the proper Scarab Beast off. Soul leaping in, maim right now into Worgen. Has a pretty big buy potential already. Thorns available. Could maybe get the damage on the pets as well. And Brawn is going to do a little bit of healing and a little bit of damage for Worgen as well. It's going to throw him into Ursul's. Can't really go anywhere. That Massive Skull is not really going to get you out. Manic Bandages are available. He's going to be able to get himself a bit of a heal. Soul is going to go for a reheal of his own as well. 10 minutes, boys. 34% dampener. One of these Juggernauts is going to go down for certain. And Worgen's trick is coming back very soon. That means Soul's Convoke is available also very soon. It looks like he's just trying to see if he might be able to get up in there, man. Gonna be a knockback trap. Soul doing okay for now. Has a trick of his own if needed. There's gonna be a steel trap. Resonant Arrow coming in. Worgen popping off cooldowns. Trying to keep Soul in a Resonant Arrow as best possible. Soul walling off. Trying to make the damage happen against Worgen. Is he gonna be able to do much? Trick is that stun. Might have a stun of his own. Maim. No Convoke. Worgen shrinking it immediately. That could be really bad for Worgen in the future. He knows there's Convoke still available. But I guess he decided, you know what? That's a lot of cooldowns from Soul. I better do it here. Maybe he's feeling confident like he can end this duel really early. So he just hit himself a good setup with a big old maim. And the Convoke is going to be guaranteed. Does he even need it? He might not even need it if he has enough damage here. Just to continue, Maim into Wargun, does go for a Convoke. It looks like there it goes. Does get the proper Convoke in there. You have to, if you're gonna commit a trinket for that Convoke, you basically have to keep doing it. But maybe Wargun felt like, you know what, that's too much damage, maybe dampening is way too high. Chicago gonna be up next. We are at 40% dampening, boys, so any kind of healing is gonna be heavily reduced. So for classes like Chicago, that actually utilizes quite a lot of self-heals, it's gonna be a pretty bad game, pretty bad time, because it's only gonna get worse every single minute that passes. Hell, every 30 seconds that passes, I think, maybe 20 seconds that passes makes dampening worse and worse. Or maybe about like 10 seconds? I don't even know. I never really thought to watch it closely. Chicago, they're getting quite a bit of damage from Soul. Those bleeds and those thorns, really hard to just maintain damage on Soul, and you also have so much precious mana. Do you even want to purge any of the debuffs? You have to be very, very careful with it. Does he go for didn't go for a grounding totem? Didn't really go for a interrupt either. I was gonna say, does he go for an interrupt here? Soul tried to go for that interrupt, try to put pressure on Chicago, but the Earth Shield is gonna keep him rolling for a little bit longer. He does have that ace in a hole. The Earth Shield, Asana's coming out right now. Does he have the biggest burst here? Root comes out for Soul. Chicago stuck in that Root with that Sky Fury, glowing all bright and shiny. Charged up, ready to go. Soul getting that reopener. Chicago is going to maximize that ascendance as best they can. A couple of wind strikes, if that's all they can do, that's the best that they can do. Full elemental blast into Soul. Might be able to get some Maelstrom needed for the heal. Does go for a wall at the last second, try to get himself a heal, but looks like that was not enough. A Squizgar is going to be up next. Leaping on top of Soul, convoking him immediately, does get interrupted. Soul, super low on health, does go for a maim onto Squiz. Trinkets a little bit late, but he's going to keep running at him. Into an Ursul's trying to get him away from him. This throw just came in full in, balls in, man. Just went in deep. And Soul could pick up the eye to see if he might be able to see Squiz out, but Squiz gonna sit in that stealth. Picking up the eyes in case Soul gets a re-stealth. Wait, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He walked by it. He's walking on top of it, like you actually have to sit there for a second before you can find it. Does see him, no stealths available for either one. Barkskin up for Soul, and Squiz going in for some damage of his own. Thorns available for Squiz. Maim, actually no! Squizgar, my man! Oh no, dude. Squizgar's a guildie of mine too, dude. It's a friend, like I actually know him, man. Good game though, Squiz. That's a rough one. Fate Transfusion for number. Whoa. That's an interesting one. He does have himself the smallest heal with the Fate Transfusion, trying to get himself whatever heal he can. He actually got interrupted on it. I think Soul never seen that ability before. He's like, wait, I think I got interrupted. Number though, trying to make some damage happen, but Soul just got too much pressure, too much momentum rolling. 4 kills for Soul. Actually, I think that might have been, I think it's 4 actually this time. Oh no, Squiz! Buddy, I actually am so glad you joined some of these duels, dude. I'm always happy when guildies join these duels, man. Yeah, I feel like if you faced anybody than Soul, I feel like you would have had maybe an easier time, because Soul world PvPs regularly, and duel is just like, when dueling you just gotta adjust one thing slightly, but you're still going from one person to the next. So Soul is used to that kind of pressure all the time. That was so intense, bro. That was awesome. That was so good, man. We had BV as 40k HP. Yeah, Soul got a lot of gear on him, dude. Read my one shot. Oh no, it's your work, man. Yeah, never get to play the one shot, huh? Yeah, he is nutty. World PvPs all the time. All right, boys, are we doing more or are we chilling? Are we doing more or are we chilling? I think we are. It is that time. I wouldn't want to have Seawork play. I would feel bad if he didn't get to. Do we go again? But boom. We could do more, but we're probably done right. Is Night King around? Because we could get boom, I guess. Because Seawork never really got to play. We could see Seawork go first or something more. Yeah, I'm actually feeling pretty good, man. I was trolling myself, I was misclicking stuff at wrong times. Oh, you're good, Pink T-Rex. We've been there, man. We've been there. Yeah. We've all been in that kind of situation, my guy. Go again? Okay, if Night King or Chicago are ready. Actually, if Night King is ready, so we can get the variety. Otherwise, it'll be same teams. We can maybe then go again. Or I guess if somebody else has a team. Seawork first, yeah, we can get Seawork in there because Seawork tried to join these duels like 3 times in a row. It just hasn't been able to play at all. So we can get him in. I'm totally down for that. We'll give him like a couple of minutes. If we don't hear from Night King, then we'll call it there. Yeah, I tried to get as many duels as I could on a name, man. You guys usually go for such long duels, and I like these actually. Sometimes there's the long duels that are just super drawn out. You know what I mean? Like, it's people just want to win, but then they're playing super safe, like so extra safe, just to make sure they last as long as possible. Like, these duels have been the type where people do play for the long game, but there's like a big payoff for that long game, right? Because sometimes there's just some duels where somebody's just trying to like live for as long as possible, and then it just does not have a good payoff in the end. They just still fall over. So it's just they're just delaying the inevitable. But then there's other duels when it's like long term. They're playing until the right moment, and then they score the kill. That's so enjoyable to watch for me. I did personally. First matchup was crazy. Soul put in the work. He really did, man. He put in the work. Soul came in with a couple of those on Feral. I guess we're gonna ignore the Hunter, because I think the Hunter's less geared. With the Feral, he came in, and I think he did really well against one person, and then it just kind of got knocked out pretty quickly. Actually, no, it was against the Beastmaster Hunter, wasn't it? It was the Beastmaster Hunter, I think. But he got himself like, oh, so this is how these work. Okay, so adjust the strategy, owning, no issues whatsoever, blasting, dude. You know what I mean? Like, Soul is all about world PvP. These 5v5 duels are slightly different, but the man adjusted, dude. Hey, he literally goes from person to person to person, 1vx's, multiple cooldowns, rotating through players. The only difference is he can't, like, the only difference is dampening, no consumables, which I guess nobody has consumables, so it's pretty fair. And there's not that much places to go. Like, you're stuck in a cage with everybody. It's a cage match. So it's, unless you get like a pretty big map like a Troveron, I guess there's a lot of mobility there. But yeah, it's similar but different. And it did really well, man. I adjusted a little and then just slamming it, dude. Natural, man. Absolutely natural. Alright, I think we're done, ski boys. I'm not hearing anything from Night King, so I think we're gonna call it there. Give yourselves a round of applause, boys. Thank you so much for popping in. Appreciate all of you for joining. We are gonna call it there. We had really good matches. They're really good games, man. Really good games. I'm gonna go get maybe something. I guess I don't really need. Maybe I'll get water. So it's good, but water, I think I'm gonna switch it up around. I got arenas I'm gonna be doing with a healer in a bit here. Maybe we'll hit 2100. Back to my hunter. Oh, we're probably done. So we're probably done ski for the night. I'm not hearing anything from Night King. And coming guys against Chicago, I would want to see some variety in the duels. So I think we're calling it here, man. I think we're calling it here. Need to redeem myself. Yo, next week, man. After the Necrolord buffs. How does that sound? How does that sound? Also, let me know if you want to play some games. Me and your my rogue and your hunter can maybe get us as a healer. We can play thug. We're just thugging it up, dude. Thugging it up. I play alpha only though. I could probably play some sub, that might make it easier, but I'm mostly play alpha for stuff. But yeah, boys, thank you so much. Round of applause for everybody. You guys are all beautiful. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I cannot wait for 9 to 5 changes. I'll see you guys Monday for some of the last minute alt stuff before the reset. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow is the day off for me from streaming. I'm still be doing videos and stuff, but no stream. I'll see you guys Monday, and I'll see you guys Tuesday for probably most likely going to be a... It's a new patch, but I'm expecting to be kind of buggy. Not even joking. Probably going to be something buggy in there. For all we know, add-ons are probably going to be crashing left and right. But I'll see you guys then. Alrighty, boys. Alright, you guys have yourselves a good one. Thanks so much for joining. You guys are beautiful. And I'll see all of you guys next stream. Peace.